And welcome in live. We are from Waukee High School tonight as the Waukee Warriors girls and boys basketball teams host a CIML doubleheader against the Hoover Huskies. My name is Emery Songer. I'm alongside Andrew Brown and our entire crew here with the Central Iowa Sports Network. And when we come back, Andrew and I will give you a full breakdown of the girls basketball game with 5th-ranked Waukee hosting Hoover right after this. It's high school basketball on CISN.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords. During the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges. And up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Waukee High School playing host to this CIML doubleheader. The Hoover Huskies from Des Moines, of course, make the trek over to the western suburbs. And Waukee, 5th ranked on the girls' side. They also are 5th ranked in the Des Moines Register Super 10 rankings this week from Matt Bain in the Des Moines Register. We'll get to the boys in a little bit, but it's time to take a look at these girls' matchups. And once again, my partner, Andrew Brown. My name's Emery Songer. We thank you for joining us. All right, so Andrew, on paper, this one is going to be tough for Hoover to try and get this upset win. 5th-ranked Waukee is 14-2 on the season. They've won their last 4, and their last 2 games specifically have been incredibly impressive. On Friday last week, they beat Mason City on the road, 73-31, and then yesterday they went to Marshalltown and beat Marshalltown 74-14. So this team does not mess around. They got a pretty tight rotation. They can rebound it. They can shoot it. They have multiple ball handlers. For a 3-14 Hoover team, this is going to be a tough ask.
Exactly, and for Waukee, they come into this game. Last game was the second time all year where they held an opponent under 10 points each quarter. So they're really picking things up, and they didn't shoot. They didn't have their best attribute in the three-point shooting last game. And they still put up 70-plus points. They were still able to drive the ball and find points. And that's scary, especially if you're a Des Moines Hoover team right now, trying to figure out how you stop them because, now Waukee's trying to get them to find that groove inside.
Yeah, Hoover this season is 46 of the 48 teams in total defense allowed, averaging 64.5 points per game defensively. And Waukee has the 4th best offense in the state in Class 5A, second averaging almost 70 points a game at 68.5 points per game. Now, defensively for Waukee, that has also been a strong suit, as you can tell from those last 2 scores that I just read you. They're second best in the state in defense, averaging less than 38 points per game defensively. And offensively, it has been a struggle trying to find some consistent scoring for Hoover, as they average just about 36 points per game. So it's probably not a fair question to start and ask how Hoover can try to compete with a very good Waukee team. I think the better question is, what does Hoover want to see out of their young team today to kind of help propel them forward before they get into regional play?
Well, the best thing is, how can you start against a team like Waukee? Waukee is perennially one of the best teams in the state in terms of first quarter scoring. They're great at getting out of the gate strong. 32 first quarter points last game. 32 while holding a team to just 2. They have one of the best point differentials in the state. So if you're Hoover, how can you stand early on? And if you can go toe-to-toe early on with this Waukee team, at least for a quarter or so, that's got to be good. It's got to be a good feeling as you go into postseason.
Definitely something to keep an eye on as Waukee tries to get themselves another win in CIML play. Taryn Reitzma not available a couple weeks ago. We did see her kind of have an ankle injury. Not sure exactly if that's going to continue to keep her out, but she certainly is going to be an important part of this team. But they certainly aren't going to be lacking a whole lot, because Reagan Bartholomew, the young sophomore coming off the bench, is an explosive player as well, and she'll be drawing the start as well. We'll have the entire starting lineups coming up after this timeout. We are live from Waukee High School. Waukee, 5th ranked, hosting the Hoover Huskies right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. From medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules. They're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game, Shields.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau's seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to Waukee High School. The anthem has just been sung by a youth choir here at Waukee High School. And now let's go ahead and take a listen in. Let's go down to the floor to the PA announcer and get yourself the starting lineups here from Waukee.
Julie Munoz and Sheena Tran. And for your Waukee Warriors, Sophia Liston, Allie Philbin, Megan Pecci, Kayla O'Donnell, Shayna Hayes, and Paris Ziegler. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. For Hoover, number 2, Tasia Young. And for your Waukee Warriors, 5'6" junior, number 2, Lindsay Calderman. For Hoover, number 10, Amaria Turner. Waukee Warriors, 5'8" junior, number 10, Kate Didier. For the Huskies, number 14, Deja Bates. And for your Warriors, 5'8" junior, number 14, Peyton Calderman. For the Huskies, number 20, Serenity Nelson. For your Warriors, 5'10" sophomore, number 32, Reagan Bartholomew. For Hoover, number 24, Olivia Jones. And for your Warriors, 5'9" junior, number 34, Megan Ernie. The head coach of the Huskies is Francis Curtis. The Aussie coach of the Warriors is Chris Gus.
All right, back. Getting set for action here on a Tuesday night, Waukee, Iowa. Once again, Emery Songer and Andrew Brown with you. We'll be with you live all night long. Once again, those starting lineups, as you can see, for Francis Curtis Nagusi and the Hoover Huskies, Tasia Young, a freshman, 6' junior, Amaria Turner, 5'5" senior, Deja Bates, leading scorer for this Hoover team. Serenity Nelson, a sophomore, and then 5'6" sophomore Olivia Jones round out the 5 for Hoover. They will be wearing black uniforms trimmed in that forest green and gold. On the other side for Chris Guess and the 14-2 fifth-ranked Waukee Warriors, it'll be similar backcourt to what we've seen all year long for this team. 5'6" junior Lindsey Kelderman will be back there along with 5'8" junior Katie Dennebeer. Peyton Kelderman, the 5'8" junior, also in the backcourt. Up front, 5'9" junior Reagan Ernie. And then it'll be the 5'10" sophomore Reagan Bartholomew who draws the start with Taryn Reitzma taking this game off. We mentioned she suffered an ankle sprain about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. First shot missed quickly by Lindsey Kelderman, and we are underway.
And this is what you want to see with Hoover, quick, getting up the court quick and trying to find a tempo, although they kind of ran themselves out of a tempo.
The traveling violation gives the ball back to Waukee wearing their home white uniforms, trimmed in that purple. Dennebeer gets around her defender all the way with the right hand.
And that's what you saw a lot of the last two games, them finding a way to get into the paint and find the production there instead of having to force themselves outside. And
they will run a full court press here to try to force Hoover into some tough situations as that pass is knocked away and stolen by Megan Ernie. That's what this press is going to do. It's going to create a lot of turnovers. Bartholomew gets to line up a left corner three. This one hits the iron. Rebound on the weak side, grabbed by Lindsey Kelderman. She's going to go around the horn, stop, kick it out. Rotation, now down low to Ernie. In the post, goes up with the left hand. Nice finish by Megan Ernie.
Nicely done, finding a way to use both hands and find that point production.
Against the full court pressure, here is Deja Bates, the senior, averaging 12 points per game, leading the way for Hoover this season. She'll kick it out to the wing. There's a tough little right-hand hook. Comes up short that time from Amaria Turner, and that is grabbed by Bartholomew. The sophomore drives all the way but loses it, and it is picked up and taken out of there by Bates. But then it's taken away by Dennebeer, who lays it up and in.
And you got to be careful with Dennebeer. She is always on top. She is one of the most aggressive defenders you'll see.
And it looks like timeout is going to be called here from Hoover. And it'll be a 30. Oh, when you look at the numbers, it doesn't lie to you. Waukee at 5th ranked for a reason. They're 14-2 for a reason. This is a very good team, not only in Central Iowa but in the state. Hoover 3-14 this season. It's been a little bit of a struggle. A young team trying to find some scoring as well as some ball handling out of the CIML Metro. Not the strongest conference in the state. Is there anything that Coach Francis Curtis Negussi is trying to tell her team to take care of first and foremost?
Well, you kind of mentioned it, ball handling. Make sure that you control what you can control, and that's ball handling, making sure you don't turn it over and make mistakes, because as we've seen, that's already turned into 6 quick points for Waukee.
6.5 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Getting into the front court, but Dennebeer pokes it away from behind. She's going to go all the way with the right hand again.
You know, and coming off of a game last week where they had a season-high 28 steals, you got to be a little bit more disciplined if you're Hoover.
This one knocked off the leg of Bartholomew as it was Olivia Jones trying to work it up the floor. In the starting lineup, you have 2 sophomores, a freshman, a junior, and then your senior is the leading scorer. Then Cynthia Rennis, a 5'6" junior, just checked in. She will replace the junior Amaria Turner, so it is still a very young group. In fact, almost as young as I've seen so far in girls basketball this year. As this one again knocked off of Waukee, it'll stay here with Hoover. Inbound pass into the front court, Olivia Jones. Jones gets doubled, throws it cross court, goes through the hands of a defender. Eventually they get it outside, a 3-point look on the way. Just a little bit strong that time by Olivia Jones, and the rebound to Dennebeer.
And it's just quick transition offense. That was that was almost too easy.
Found Bartholomew, and she was too strong on the lay-in. As you mentioned, sometimes you get going too quickly, and it just kind of happens too fast for you to realize that how open you are. Nice pass up and under for the freshman Young. That one missed. Bartholomew is able to grab the rebound, and she'll fire it ahead. Dennebeer left alone. Left wing 3, rattles it home.
Haven't had very much success so far this game for Waukee from the 3-point line, but, you know, they can always pick it up really quick.
Well, they are a 3-point shooting team. Has a good block underneath by Kelderman, with the rebound and putback, that time by Nelson.
And one thing I think that Hoover's really going to have to do a little bit better of is rebounding. Find the rebounds and find the opportunities.
Lindsey Kelderman immediately comes down. This is what they want to do. They want to run. Inbound pass is thrown away right at Ernie. And here's Kelderman underneath. Little left-hand shot is missed. She gets her own rebound, but then her pass back to the outside is stolen away by Rennis, and then taken right away by Kelderman. and then knocked out of bounds. It'll stay down here. 4:49 left. End of the game for the first time is senior Adriana Jarrett, 6 foot tall for Hoover. She'll come and grab Nelson.
And she's their leading rebounder. So at this point, you need the opportunities. Grab them off the board, and that will really help the offense.
Up to the top. And a little hand check foul they're going to get on Olivia Jones. So, as you can tell, this 14-2 score. As Abigail Jones is going to get some run in here, she'll grab Bartholomew.
Number 30, Abigail Jones checks in for the Warriors.
Waukee wants the pace to be high. They know that they can score with the best of them in the state of Iowa, and they know that Hoover scores or struggles to score is down low. That shot missed. Jones, a good rebound. She is trapped by 3 Huskies, able to kick it out. Catch and shoot 3 for Kelderman. That one missed. Rebound loose underneath and eventually cleared out of there by Olivia Jones.
And they're lucky that Waukee didn't come away with points there. They surely had the opportunities.
Here's a long 2. Missed that time by Rennis and taken by Dennebeer. All the way, the foul, and Ernie will go to the line and try to complete a 3-point play.
One of the things head coach Chris Guest really stressed, and he's talked about a lot, is finding the contact. If you're going to go up there, find the contact, is now you can get 3 points out of the deal.
16-2, about halfway through this quarter. I mentioned the 32-point quarter yesterday. Ernie switches the free throw. Ernie this season came in at 70%, solid free throw shooter. End of the game, Cameron Weirs, 6'1" sophomore. She's going to get some run with Reitzma out, and she's going to immediately get a steal. Here's Kelderman to Lindsey Kelderman. She'll kick it out. Jones, catch and shoot, top of the key 3. Yes.
3-point basket for Abigail Jones.
And then another poke away by Dennebeer. Kelderman all the way, too strong on the right hand. Taken by Nelson, who's back in. That is Jones, my mistake.
You got to take advantage of being on this side of the court now if you're Hoover, because and now they just let that go. But you have to do that. If you're Hoover, you have to find a way to establish yourself and not let Waukee run up the score and, of course, the pace.
20-2. Here's Kelderman. Up, under, and gets the finish. Her first 2 of the game, so all 5 starters are now in the scoring column for Waukee so far. We'll see what Chris Guest wants to do. We're probably going to see him go to the bench a little deeper, even with Taryn Reitzma, especially with Taryn Reitzma out for the game, as this shot is missed inside by Jarrett. Weirs comes out with the rebound. Dennebeer, she's just going to pull up from the top of the key for 3, in, out, and back in. Dennebeer with 12.
You leave a 3-point shooter open, they're going to make that shot any day, and Dennebeer is exactly that type of person.
Peyton Kelderman will get called for a foul, pressing in the backcourt. Dennebeer came in 35% from 3, and that's the lowest of their top 3-point shooters. This team has the ability to shoot it well over 40%. This year they're about 38% overall, but yeah, you let them start heating up, you're going to have some problems in more ways than one. Quick fire ahead. That's a good pass from Amaria Turner. Finds the open look down to Deja Bates, but she can't quite finish it. Good job tipping that pass the rebound by Abigail Jones, and quickly Waukee comes the other way. End of the game for the first time, Nair Barnes. Her shot is off the mark, but the offensive rebound grabbed by Peyton Kelderman. Barnes with it, left wing. She'll drive in the middle, just a freshman. She'll kick it out. Here's Jones, another 3. And she's kind of sneaky too. Yeah, she's 6'2" tall, but she likes to play offensively, at least on the outside, as Barnes gets the steal and she's fouled. The thing with Jones makes her such an important key off the bench is defensively you can use her inside. She can block some shots, affect some shots inside as kind of a rim protector, if you will, and she's a good rebounder. But offensively, she has the ability to stretch the floor and hit those outside jump shots.
It's that versatility that has helped them in every way, shape, or form, because now Reitzma can be out. But then you can have a platoon of individuals who have that versatility, find a way to shoot from the outside, and it's not a stretch for any one of these individuals on the Waukee roster to make a 3 at any point.
Barnes goes 0 for 2 from the line. Tasia Young comes out of there with the rebound. Barnes now 0 for 4 from the free throw line this season. It's a wide pass that time, and it'll be another turnover. By my count, that's 10 turnovers for Hoover, and you have to give a lot of credit to Waukee. That press is designed to create fast pace of play and to try to create turnovers. They do it to the best of teams, and they certainly will do it here in a game in which they feel like they have an advantage, both in the front court and back court, as Bartholomew has it sit on the rim and then drop in. She is the last player to get on the score sheet for the starters. I misspoke earlier. Look at Turner finding a way to dribble through all that traffic. Goes up, under. What a finish all the way by Amaria Turner.
That's what you got to do, find a way and kind of play Waukee's game, play the fast pace.
Look at Jones. I mean, that is so reliable from outside the arc.
It's a nice stroke, a great shot. And, she's been working on that all off season. And so it's great to see her come through and the fruits of her labor.
Little thread the needle pass, looking for Weirs. Eventually, after a loose ball, they get it. Nice extra pass by Barnes. Finds Bartholomew. Shots missed, however. Rebound loose, goes out of bounds. It'll stay here with Waukee. 1:16 left. Waukee a 33-4 lead. Dennebeer back in. And for the first time, Tayana Thompson, a junior for Hoover.
And by my account, this is the 7th 30-point quarter that Waukee has had for so far this season. And again, back-to-back games, it starts right away out of the gates.
Weirs, little give and go. Running it on the inbounds. Getting Bartholomew open. She is fouled, and she'll go to the free throw line to shoot two. Rennes picks up her first. It's fourth team foul. Bartholomew this season so far, averaging 56% from the line. Switches that one home, no problem. I like her game as a sophomore. She is aggressive. She does not have a lot of fear with the ball in her hands, willing to create off the dribble. She misses the second. Long rebound is grabbed by Nelson.
And that was one of the things Bartholomew worked on in the offseason, is finding a way to not just be an outside shooter, but to find a way to be aggressive inside. And she's worked through that all camp in AAU ball, and it has really turned out to be a phenomenal jump for her. And the scary part is for opponents, like you said, just a sophomore. Still 2 more years to come and get better.
Yeah, if she continues that development going into even next year, this team is going to be super duper dangerous with no seniors that are on the roster, let alone in the rotation. So how good Waukee is now, you would think that if everybody continues to develop, this team is going to be very dangerous and will be a state championship contender next year. As Ernie gets a rebound, she is fouled underneath by Turner.
And almost everybody on this Waukee roster has some state tournament experience.
Oh, yeah.
They've been here, done that, nearly the entire starting roster. So that's a great thing for any coach to have. It's something that you wish could happen every year. And certainly you get back-to-back years, and now 3 years, really, of all these individuals, some of them for their 4th year.
Yeah, that's the thing with players like Jones and Bartholomew. It's interesting to see how them and the rest of their class continues to develop as well, as you'd like to keep this perpetuating itself as Ernie makes both free throws. Into the front court, and the shot blocked, but also a foul on Bartholomew. It's a good drive by Bates, and it'll be 2 shots. Deja Bates, leading scorer on this team. She gets to the free throw line a lot, 72 attempts in 16 games, 62.5% from the line, and her first is good.
And they're going to need a whole lot more of that just to get back in somewhat into this game. It's kind of a tough task to even come close at this point, but you're just going to need a whole lot more of that.
2 for 2 at the line for Bates. Dennebeer gets into the front court, gets it to Ernie. She'll switch it around. Bartholomew was open on the block, but Kelderman didn't want to thread the needle. Now she will after getting inside. It's a good pass from Kelderman, and Bartholomew gets her second bucket. 38-6, knocking on a 40-point quarter here. We'll see what Hoover can do here in the last 20 seconds, down 38-6. Bates dribbles it into the front court, 15. She slices, little floater, tough shot, can't get the roll. Dennebeer with the rebound, comes out of there with it, 10 seconds left. Lobs it, Ernie in the corner, extra pass, Kelderman fires a 3, got it. The extra pass makes this team so dangerous as that's the end of the quarter. And what a quarter it was for the Waukee Warriors. 41 first quarter points. 41-6 is our first quarter score. We'll take a break, come back with a second right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Waukee imposing their will after 1 quarter of play, leading 41-6. Fifth-ranked team looking like it here so far in the first half. No Taryn Reitzma, but a good chance for her to continue to get that ankle healthy as Deja Bates gets into the front court here for Hoover as they shoot at our right hoop. Drops it off for Olivia Jones. Also out there, freshman Tasia Young, as there's a tough pass looking for Adriana Jarrett. It's not able to be reeled in. Another steal for Dinnebier. It's a great collect and attempt by Kelderman. Can't get the finish, though. Dinnebier up through the defense with the left hand. So Kate Dinnebier with 14 points, 4 steals, and 2 rebounds by my count. And a turnover on the inbounds. We'll give it back to Waukee. For Waukee, if you're looking ahead, always good to try to get as many people into the mix as possible, as there's good rotation and a block by Deja Bates, and the rebound pulled out of there by Olivia Jones. She'll get it in the front court. Her pass to Jarrett in the paint and kick it around. Bates with it out on the wing. Here is Jones. She'll fire and hit the three.
3-point basket for Olivia Jones.
So Jones knocks down a three. On the other end, trying for the answer, no good, and Bates comes out of there with another rebound.
And that's good for her because you get the more people you can get to rebound the ball like that, the better you go into postseason play with. And again, if like you said, trying to look for some positive in this type of game for Hoover, how well can you rebound? How well can you keep up with a pace like Waukee's? And if you can do that, you can go far.
Yeah, and they're playing 4 underclassmen so far in this game, so they are a young team. Cross-court pass to Kelderman after a traveling violation as Young shuffled the feet. Inside, they're going to call a traveling violation on Ernie. Good triple team action down on the block by Hoover. You can tell they're basically just daring Waukee to kick it out and shoot threes. That's what they'd much rather have happen versus have them score layups on them all game. And I agree with that sentiment. I mean, if you're going to try to stop one thing, you want to eliminate the layups.
Yeah, but at the same token, you're just playing into Waukee's strength as well. So that's kind of hard for Hoover. Where do you go? How do you find the edge? And right now it's kind of tough for them to find that edge.
There's a great pass by Tasia Young finding Adriana Jarrett. Couldn't have thrown that pass better, and Jarrett gets the finish for her first 2 points. It's 43-11. Jones down in the shorter corner. It is Ernie back to the top. Cross-court skip pass finds Peyton Kelderman. Back to Lindsay. Lindsay goes to the high elbow. Dinnebier crosses it over into the corner. Peyton Kelderman's three is missed, but Ernie on the offensive glass.
There you go, finding the way to get those easy buckets down low. That's what Waukee has really been finding the last couple games.
And they do have, for the most part, across the board, a size advantage. As Young tries to line up a three, that one off the mark. Rebound to Kelderman. She wants to push. She's going to go all the way to the rim, up under. That's great defense. Just waiting there by Bates, forcing the miss. And Olivia Jones gets the board. But Dinnebier comes by and swipes it away as she was trying to get by Kelderman. Dinnebier slices, draws the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line.
And another big defensive game, another big round of steals. Again, Waukee getting up past double digits in my book in terms of steals already in this game. Monday they came out with 28 steals, tied their season high, and now they're well on pace to match that again, if not more. And, it's just continuing to show their strength there, flex their muscles.
Dinnebier this season comes in averaging 73% from the free throw line, 14 points per game. A very balanced Waukee offensive attack. And she takes care of both free throws.
This is a chance of your Hoover. Just how can you get the ball into the hands of your best scorer? How can you continually do that? Find a way to be consistent. I think at this stage of the game, if you're Hoover, how do you find something to be consistent? How do you get to the points consistently?
Here's
right
Jones.
now, it's just not coming.
Bates, there is your leading scorer. She fires a three. That one's strong. Lindsay Kelderman gets the rebound. They did call a foul there on Peyton Kelderman in the interim. Lindsay Kelderman to Dennebeer out on the right wing. A dangerous pass, nearly stolen by Jones, but Waukee's able to maintain possession. 2-3 zone look here, protecting the interior by Hoover. And it's really slowed Waukee's offense down, at least for the moment. Well, good ball movement, though, by the Warriors. Tried to go inside, but can't link up. Jones gets the steal. Should go all the way and finish with the layup. Nice play by Jones. And Waukee wants no part of slowing this pace down. As soon as the made basket, they're going to go the other way. Kelderman launches a three from the left wing. That's a miss. Rebound out of bounds. It'll go to Hoover. The will is there, and they are still playing hard. As you can see, they have forced a few turnovers here in the second quarter. They have gotten some shots inside. It's just a matter of can they continue to compete with the pace and the length with this young roster and trying to, figure out a way to continuously, as you mentioned, get the ball in the hands of their better players. As Young drives, tried a little pocket pass, couldn't connect, but does save it from going out of bounds. And look at Jones. She's been scrappy this entire game, and she's able to keep possession for the Huskies.
She's definitely been one of the brightest spots on this Hoover team so far tonight.
She tried to go baseline to find Bates, but it's stolen away by Abigail Jones. And here comes the Warriors. Kelderman on the drive. And timeout going to be called by Hoover. We'll take a break with them. Halfway through the second quarter, Waukee rolling over Hoover here, 49-13, right here on CISN.
The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com. People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords. During the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges. And up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com.
Out of timeout, Waukee with a 49-13 lead over Hoover. 3:59 left in this first half. It'll be Hoover basketball. Head coach Francis Curtis Nagusi trying to use this as a teaching moment as her team, young team, tries to compete with the fifth-ranked team in the state as Dennebeer picks the pocket of the freshman Tasia Young. Can't get the finish, but a good rebound and putback by Lindsay Kelderman following the play. Dennebeer, on my count, 6 steals so far in this game.
Yes, and that's, again, one of their strengths is find your weakness, pickpocket, and it's just great defense overall. They don't let you find a lot of rhythm as an offense and as opposing offense.
After another steal, it is Warrior ball. Dennebeer, Ernie, kick out, open, Kelderman, wide open, hits. Great offense there shown. Ernie gets the assist, but just generally, that was great ball movement against the zone by Waukee.
That's how you break it up. That's how you break the zone. Just keep the ball moving, keep the passing, find the ways to get inside and or outside, and they did that.
Dennebeer, the steal, pulls up from the three-point line, a little bit strong. Rebound comes down to Tasia Young, but she has it taken away by Kelderman. Can't finish. Dennebeer, another rebound. And Kelderman, kick out. Ernie left alone, left wing. This one missed. Jones over the back.
And again, if you're Hoover right now, it's, like you said, just trying to find out where you can get the point and try and make it easy for yourself. There are times where this Hoover team has not been able to really handle the ball well. And I know Waukee is constantly pressuring you, and that's what they do best. That's why they have so many steals on the year. But you just have to try and slow it down. At this point, try and play your game.
Here's a quick pull-up three by Olivia Jones. Banks it in. That's her second make on threes in this game. She came in just about 16%, but just desperate for offense. Fired a couple up there, and they've gotten them to go down.
Their third make of this second quarter so far.
Here's a quick in-and-out pass and a hit by Dennebeer. This time, Ernie assisting Dennebeer. I had 4 assists for Ernie. Excellent work working inside the middle of that zone defense. Jones, why not another? This one off the mark. Long rebound taken by Dennebeer. She gets it ahead. Lindsay Kelderman Finds Jones, wide open again, and she hits again. Her fourth made three for the sophomore, and she came in already with 33% from outside for a sophomore, who you would think is going to be more a low post player with her size and length. That's just going to continue to increase as this is taken away. Again, Dennebeer gets a hand on it. Now on the fast break, Kelderman finds Jones. Jones doesn't rush that shot, gets it to Dennebeer, but she'll hit the three.
Three-point basket for Kate Dennebeer.
I mean, it's a well-oiled machine. They have so many players that can shoot it from outside, so even if you try to play a zone, take away the inside and the layups, they are going to be able to shoot over you, and they are not going to be afraid to do so, as this is out of bounds back to Waukee. Got a couple subs in the game. Adriana Jarrett comes in, as does Serenity Nelson for North. It's Bartholomew and Cameron Weirs back into the game. A couple of sophomores for Waukee. They have a 63-16 lead with 1:20 to go in this first half.
And it'll be interesting to see, again, when you see new people into the mix for Waukee, just how well they'll continue the spread.
Kelderman has her pass tipped. Weirs somehow gets her hands on it, can't quite finish it. Nelson gets the rebound. Good job by Weirs,
They've had plenty of opportunities down low, that's for sure. And you talked about it. That's what Hoover's going to have to try and stop, or at least somewhat halt tonight.
Bates drives baseline, gives it for Jarrett. Jarrett a little bit short on the bank shot. Dennebeer collects the board. 63-16, 40 seconds left here. Loose ball, and they're going to get Dennebeer for running in illegally for a screen on the handoff, and that'll turn the ball back over. My stats are always going to be unofficial. I'm trying my best to keep up in a game like this, which, I'll be honest, not easy.
It can be tough.
No, it can be. It is. Dennebeer gets the quick steal. Finds Kelderman, left-hand layup.
And now well over double digits on the steals category for the night for Waukee, and just finding a way to make it done. And now in a quick transition, getting back to the bucket here.
Oh, that's a good job knocking that pass away. And then a foul on Waukee. Give credit to the freshman, Tasia Young, not quitting. Coming back, forcing the turnover. Kelderman gets her third foul. 14.7 seconds left, 65-16. Still no free throws, both teams 16 fouls. 10 seconds left. Jones fires it over to Bates. Bates loses the handle. It's knocked out of bounds off of Bartholomew with 5.7 seconds left. Dennebeer leading all scorers with 22. Jones has 12. Payne Kelderman has 9. Lindsey Kelderman has 8. Also 9 for Ernie, as here's a three by Bates. No good. Rebound pulled out by Dennebeer. Half-court shot on the way. Why not? Wow. Why not? Gets the rebound and at the horn right. I mean, you could not have towed the line any better. Knocks down the half-court three at the buzzer, and Waukee. Holy moly. What a cherry on top of a perfect Sunday of a first half. 68-16 over Hoover. The fifth-ranked Warriors rolling after one half of play. We'll take a break, give you some halftime stats right after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology. Our focus is your good health.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
It's halftime from Waukee. Fifth-ranked Warriors, 68. Hoover, 16. Let's go ahead and just jump right into stats. After that half-court shot from Katie Dinnebeer for three in that at the horn. I mean, it was could not have been closer to the buzzer. It could not have been more perfectly at half-court. On the run, she's got 25 along with 6 rebounds, 1 assist, and 9 steals by my count. Also in double figures for Waukee, Abigail Jones, she's got 12. 9 points for each. Megan Ernie, Peyton Kelderman, 8 points for Lindsay Kelderman. Reagan Bartholomew has 5. Some good minutes as well from Cameron Weirs, a sophomore. Freshman Nair Barnes also got some action in that first half. I would imagine we'll see even more bench players come in as the running clock will be in effect in the second half with the plus over a 35-point lead. Taryn Reitzma, typically one of the starting 5 and gets a lot of minutes as one of the forwards for this Waukee team, is out. I'm guessing this is all a guess. She did hurt her ankle a couple of games ago, about a week and a half ago. Pretty good opportunity for her to take a seat, give a chance for players like Bartholomew and Weirs to pick up some bigger minutes. On the other side for Coach Francis Curtis Degusi, as she tries to get Hoover to continue their improvement and development with the young team. Olivia Jones has 8 points. She hit 2 threes in that first half. She also has 4 rebounds, 2 points each for Adriana Jarrett, Serenity Nelson, Deja Bates, and Amaria Turner. So, Andrew Brown, big takeaways from Waukee in that first half.
Big takeaways. They are a team that, again, can find a way to hurt you both in the paint and from the three-point line. They can do it all, and if you're going to try and stop them, you have to limit one. And obviously, Hoover's not well equipped right now to do that. And so with Waukee, they're continuing to just, polish what they're good at and continuing, because we see more down low, more post presence, more aggressiveness down towards the paint. That's one of the things Coach Guest really wanted to see this year. And he's seeing that in large amounts now. And you know what? If it's working, why not continue it? And that's what they're doing, and that's what's really working well. Again, tonight, it's kind of like the saying, whatever can go right does go right. For the Waukee Warriors anyway, and for Hoover, what can go wrong is going wrong right now.
Well, and you got to give credit to the effort from a lot of these young players for Hoover. They have not folded. They have not given up by any means. As easy as it would be being down 68-16, but this is a young team continuing to try to work and get better and improve themselves as they enter the latter portion of the 2019-2020 season. But also, I think more importantly, Waukee is seeing everybody kind of get into the mix. Abigail Jones, her 12 points, all on 4 threes. That, to me, is important. If you can have her as like your 7th person, like the second girl that you have coming off the bench, I mean, that is a huge weapon to have offensively, and that has nothing to do with the long arms and defensive prowess and rebounding that she can give you on the other side as well. Looking ahead for Waukee, Southeast Polk on Friday in this gym. Southeast Polk, solid team. When you take a look at the rankings in the Class 5A rankings for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Waukee 5th. Southeast Polk is 6th right now, so that's a big matchup on Friday. At Des Moines Roosevelt of these public schools, of course, within the Central Iowa Metro League. That one will be played at Roosevelt High School, and then Waukee gets Marshalltown a second time, which Marshalltown played them yesterday, and that was a 74-14 Waukee win, so you feel pretty good about that. And then to wrap up the regular season on the 15th, a Saturday, the game of the year in at least recently, toward the end of the season, number 1 City High taking on 5th-ranked Waukee, and who knows where Waukee will be in the rankings there. So, and that's a rare opportunity to see a very good Eastern Iowa team against a very good Central Iowa team. Really good way to measure yourself up for both those rosters. Looking at another game that we have going on. At halftime, Dowling leading Mason City 53-17. Dowling Catholic, of course, one of the top teams in the state as well. They are ranked 2nd in the IGH SAU rankings. It's a really, really good team led by Caitlin Clark, who is the best girls basketball player in the state of Iowa, I think, bar none. And that prospect is going to the University of Iowa, one of the top recruits in the nation in girls basketball. And they have a big lead over Mason City tonight. We'll take one more break, come back with the second half. It's Waukee over Hoover at the half, 68-16 on CISN.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
68-16, 5th-ranked Waukee taking care of business here at home over Hoover. It'll still be the starting 5 for Waukee to start, at least here in this third quarter for Coach Chris Guest. 14-2, 5th-ranked team. It'll be the two Kellermans, Lindsay and Peyton. Also be joined by Kate Dinnebeer, who has 25 points in the first half. Megan Ernie and Reagan Bartholomew. On the other side for Hoover, Adriana Jarrett is going to get in to start this second half. I also have Olivia Jones out there, Deja Bates, Tasia Young. Well, part in that actually is Serenity Nelson. As baseline goes Ernie, that's a miss. And immediately Serenity Nelson gets another rebound. Here's Bates in the front court. Crossover on Dinnebeer, tough little floater. Outshot missed and taken by Ernie.
And that's what you want to see, Hoover. Aggressiveness towards the hoop. You want to see a little bit more of that, especially into future games.
Cynthia Rennis also drawing a start here in this second half as Coach Francis Curtis Negussi just trying to hit some different buttons here as Jones pestered The sophomore eventually gives it up. Baseline effort, trying to get it through the defense. Dennebeer is going to get a hand on that. By my count, that's her 10th steal. Here's Peyton Kelderman to Lindsay. Dennebeer at the top. Rotates it into the corner to Bartholomew. Back to Dennebeer. Skip pass. Finds Kelderman in the corner. Goes down low to Ernie. Ernie kicks it back out. Dennebeer thought about the long three. Instead makes the extra pass. Kelderman wide open. Hits the three. Again, flawless half-court offense being shown by the Waukee Warriors.
And again, doing it from the three-point line. It's a great job there. That last quarter they had 9 shots from three. They're already starting off strong here.
Dennebeer, another steal. The other way, again, this is Lindsay Kelderman. She's in double figures with 10. Here's Jones, nearly poked away again by Dennebeer. Little fader down low. Nice shot by Rennes. Going the other direction now are the Warriors. They have not slowed the pace at all. Ernie fires a three. That's off the back of the rim. Jarrett, a good strong rebound in traffic, but it'll be a turnover as Rennes was kind of waiting for contact and just didn't get a chance to get her feet set as the pass kind of came right at her on the run. It's always kind of a tough play to make.
Really tough, especially if everything's go, 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 fast-paced like Waukee's putting it out to be here tonight.
Kelderman into the short corner. Ernie, excellent pass, and the layup by Bartholomew. That's such a good pass. Ernie showing off the passing ability, 5 assists, leading the team so far, at least by my unofficial statistics. There's a little reach-in foul on Kelderman. Peyton Kelderman, that is. Abigail Jones into the game.
And Jones, like you mentioned, a big part of this offense when she comes in, she could do it all. And so it's now's the time, if you're Coach Guest, to kind of see where you can place her. How can she do down low and kind of vary it up a little bit with her, and that's what they're starting to do.
Bates tries to save that, but it ends up landing in Dennebeer's arms. She wants to go all the way. Nice find to Kelderman on the fast break. Dennebeer showing off her playmaking ability on the run. So Dennebeer only had 1 assist and got it very late in the first half, and now she's got 4 assists. She looks for a 5th, but Kelderman has to reel that one in. That was a little too tall for her. Jones kicks it out, and Peyton Kelderman hits a 3.
Three-point basket for Peyton Kelderman.
You talked about it at halftime. Everything that could go right just is right now for Waukee. As Ernie hooks that one away, gets the steal, lobs it for Dennebeer, who travels.
That was just one of those where, again, it was almost too easy of an opportunity, and even teams like Waukee can fall into that sometimes.
That was just kind of an awkward. I mean, she definitely took one too many steps. As Hoover thought about making a sub, decided to not make the sub here. Pass back to the top. And some more subs coming in the game for Waukee. Next dead ball. Rebound to Peyton Kelderman off the miss. Kelderman over to Lindsay. Lindsay right corner 3. She knocks one down.
Three-point basket for Lindsay Kelderman.
I mean, they're all getting into the act from outside the arc now.
Yeah, that looks to be what, the 4th or 5th three-point basket made already so far this half, and we're already at 83 points here for Waukee.
Pulling back is Jones. Her 3 just a little off the mark. Ernie comes out of there with the rebound, lobs it ahead. Kelderman lines up another 3 and hits another 3.
Three-point basket.
I mean, for goodness sake. Can somebody miss?
It just doesn't seem to happen here for Waukee especially.
There's going to be a timeout. Going to be called by Waukee.
Waukee calls a 30-second timeout.
Mainly to get substitutions in the game. It looks like Lily Lampy, a 5'8 sophomore, is going to get into the game. A little bit of run. It's a great time, as we mentioned, for Chris Guest to really get a look at some of his underclassmen. Remember, all his starting 5, when Reitzma is in there, are all juniors. So this team not only is good right now, but this team would be projected to be, I mean, you would think, you're not out of your mind to think that it would be even better next year. I doubt we see any of the starters the rest of the game. So Lily Lampy comes in, Naira Barnes back in, the 5'6 freshman. Cameron Weir's a 6'1 sophomore, also into the game. And then they join Ernie and Jones, who remain on the floor.
And you talk about Lily Lampy, even she had experience at state last year. So even now you're getting into the 2nd or 3rd tier of these Waukee players, and some of them still have state experience.
Three attempt by Olivia Jones is missed. Waukee comes out of there with it. Barnes over to Lampy. Lampy probes, lobs it over to Abigail Jones. Jones down low to Weirs. Nice pass to Ernie, but she can't quite keep it together. It's a good job by Hoover getting a hand in there to make it a tough shot. Olivia Jones comes out of there with the rebound. 86-18. Oh, it's a tough pass. Great find by Olivia Jones. Holy cow. And Nelson, a great finish underneath. They've had a couple of those that, I mean, they show promise in what they can do. They're just really young. That's a sophomore to a sophomore. And they're going to get a traveling violation as Jones nearly buried her fifth three. Addison Steffi, a 5'11 freshman, comes in to replace Ernie. By my count, that's 8 Waukee turnovers, but they have forced, by my count, 30 Hoover turnovers. Again, everything's happening so fast, I don't know how accurate those numbers are, but it's in the ballpark. Let's just say that.
And it's a pretty good ballpark here, but especially with what Waukee's doing, again, it just shows what they're capable of, and if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile.
Barnes gets a hand on it, gets a steal, lobs it ahead to Lampy, but it's wide of the mark. It'll go back the other direction. Clock continues to run. Rule is 35-point lead. You have the running clock in the second half. Unless the score gets within 25 points, then the clock gets turned off. Deja Bates comes out. She will be replaced by Cynthia Rennis. We talked about it. Hoover's had a couple of really good passes, some good shots. Olivia Jones has certainly been a big bright spot for them, but you can see this Waukee team, the defense, even with the bench players, I mean, they're long, they're athletic, they create a lot of havoc out there, and they don't give you a lot of passing lanes.
And you know, it'll be very interesting in the next couple of years once Waukee breaks away into two different schools.
Yeah.
It'll be very interesting to see there because right now as it sits, those from Timberline Middle School would come over here to Waukee, but that kind of affects some of the players coming on up here that would be coming for the varsity score.
That time by Rennis. Rebound by Steffi, who got her first bucket last time down the floor. Barnes left alone. She gets to line up a left-handed three. Just long, but she's able to get her own offensive rebound off the heel of the rim. Kick out Lampy. She wants a left wing three. That one off the mark, and Olivia Jones another rebound in traffic. Ankeny had to do that about 10 years ago with their split. It's probably going to take a couple of years to figure all those things out as Jones fires a three. That one misses. And it goes back to Waukee. But enjoy it while you got it for
Exactly.
Waukee. It certainly is a fun time for their athletics right now, but several teams are going to have some of their top players split between the two schools as Jones lines up a three. And there is her fifth three.
And for Waukee, I have a great coaching staff. Coach Guest does a great job about just trying to get the best out of a player, and that he's done that with everybody and continues to do that.
Third quarter is complete. Waukee 91, Hoover 20 here on Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
8 minutes left. Waukee over Hoover 91-20, looking every bit like the top 5 team that they are, as, again, tough defense creates a turnover. It'll be Waukee ball. Megan Lands, another freshman, 5 feet 7 inches. She is out there, along with another sophomore, 5'3" sophomore Bailey Kroll, getting her first run of the game. Also out there, Natalie Gallagher, 5'6" freshman. So Coach Guess emptying the bench as that pass from Weirs was an absolute bullet. Ashley Smith, a 5'10" junior, also getting some run here for Coach Guest. So this is really the players that we haven't seen yet. The only player that at least is on my roster that we haven't seen is Kiana Carnes, and doesn't look like she's dressed. So everybody who is dressed is played for Waukee now, and I'm guessing this group will probably take us through the end of the game.
Yeah, and you're probably getting a lot of good solid play.
Nice
some
three.
good defense, but a nice shot there. Again, if you're Hoover, again, like you said, you have a lot of heart. There, you can tell there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of effort put into this.
There's still like some talent that you can build around. As Weir's great position down low, good look from Kroll to set her up. But I mean, they have some players that aren't afraid to shoot the three and can knock it down. I mean, it's not super regular at this point. It's nothing like Waukee's three-point shooting, but I mean, you got to start somewhere. As there's going to be a foul here on Lands.
And they are young. Hoover is a young team, and at one point, Waukee was the same. Everyone's gone through that where they've been a young team and had to have grown from it. And you look at this, you got to have there's a lot of potential on the court for Hoover right now. A lot that could grow and develop into something.
And they're in the CIML Metro, which is not historically a super strong girls basketball conference. So you would think that more success will be had coming up in the near future here for this Hoover team as Kroll lines up a three.
Three-point basket for Bailey Kroll.
Again, you just put more in, and they do the same outcome happens.
That's just Bailey Kroll's first points of the season. So congratulations to her. Always good to feel that.
Yes.
As she tracks this one down, tries to fire it in there to Weirs. I mean, that's always a good feeling, right? To not only get your first basket, but your first points of the season.
Oh, and it's big. It's always a confidence booster. Now you can take that and move along, and it really helps you as you try and grow within the JV ranks too. A lot of these girls don't get, a great amount of varsity playing time, and so when they get the chance, it's always fun. It's just fun for them, and it's fun for Coach.
Natalie Gallagher, an excellent job tracking down that loose ball rebound. Weirs, again, working on smaller players underneath. No problem collecting it and laying it up for her second straight bucket. Now, Weirs obviously is not going to have that kind of size differential. She's at least 6-7 inches taller than the girl that's trying to guard her in that zone. As it looks like Addison Steffi will come back in, replacing Weirs. And then Alexia Jarrett and Adriana Jarrett will enter the game. Alexia is just a freshman.
And one thing you can look at with Hoover is somewhat of the same story that Waukee's been through. Last year they had a lot more height with Peyton Rao, Kat Moody. They've gone down a little bit. Still have some good height and some good size there, but they've gone down, and Waukee's found a way to adapt to it. And that's what Hoover, once they get a little bit older, once they find a way to just find their strengths, they'll get there too.
98-23. Foul on Hoover after the steal. And a dangerous inbound pass knocked away by Tasia Young.
And Young doing all she can to keep this game, to again put a lot of effort in it, and that's what you want to see.
I mean, you want to just see your girls trying. As there's a reverse layup attempt missed by Waukee. Adriana Jarrett gets the rebound and gives it to Olivia Jones. Jones lost the dribble for a moment, but gets it back. Goes inside. Jarrett power dribble, kicks it out. Firing a three is Young. Shots missed. Rebound pulled down by Steffi. I mean, all you can show is effort. And that's what's going to keep that development, is driving in, trying to get the and one was Megan Lands, but she'll go to the free throw line to shoot two.
And it may hurt now, but this does help a team like Hoover in some fashion. You find a way against a team like Waukee, you find your weaknesses very quickly. They exploit a lot of that, and as Hoover, it's just a learning process from here on out.
Lands misses a free throw. She has scored 6 points this season, so this is not her going for our first points of the year. Second free throw is short. Long rebound, though, and she's going to grab it herself.
Got to keep your eye on the ball at all times, and that's a good job. It's good to see from the young.
Look at Young. Nice job on the hustle, getting the steal, and Hoover into the front court is Alexia Jarrett. Jarrett leaves it back for Young. She pulls it back outside. 3:10 left, fourth quarter. Waukee 98, Hoover 23. Three on the way. Jones.
Three-point basket for Olivia Jones.
Her third three of the game.
She has a lot of good potential going in not only into the postseason, but next year.
Here is a three by Bailey Kroll.
Basket for Bailey Kroll.
And over 100 points in the game for Waukee. 101. Alexia Jarrett fires a three. Kroll with the rebound on the miss. 101-26. With still 2:42 left. Lands will line up a three. That one just off the mark. Jarrett secures the rebound. Nice outlet pass to Jones. And she'll get the finish.
Olivia Jones.
Again, nice to see something working in some capacity for this Hoover team.
I like Jones.
Jones will have a great career when all is said and done.
Out of bounds. It's a good job by Alexia Jarrett holding her ground, not letting Ashley Smith try to drive past her. Deja Kelly, a junior, comes in for the first time. She'll replace Young. Lily Lampy comes back in. She'll replace Natalie Gallagher. 2 minutes to go. 101-28. For a team as high-scoring as Waukee, still the 100-point game in girls high school basketball is a rare bird. You do not see that very frequently at all.
It is quite the rarity, and first time they've done that this season, despite some of the big games they've had. And they've had a number of big games this season.
Yeah, well, they can score on pretty much anybody, and that's one thing that you can take to the bank, except for West Des Moines Valley. Valley held them to 48 points the first meeting, 38 points, and that's through overtime in the second meeting. So that team defensively is one of the best girls basketball teams like I've seen at all on the defensive side of the ball. If they can score, they're going to be a problem. As Jones a little bit long on the three. Here's the rebound, Lampy.
And what it shows for Waukee is that, again, they adapt well. They adapt to whatever they get put out. And, again, Valley is a team that you got to tip your cap to. They've played great and certainly one of the better competition they've faced so far.
That's a team you don't want to forget is Jarrett, a big bump there on the drive by Lands. This one she gets called for a foul. Well, again, this always kind of had the makings as inbound pass. Steffi can't finish it. Jarrett fires it ahead, but it's a little bit wide on the pass. And taken away by Lands into the front court. Here's Smith. Eventually gets it back out with 30 seconds left. Lampy into the corner. This Waukee is all about trying to tune it up, keep making it strong, as it looks like Waukee is going to be willing to dribble this thing out and improve the record of 15-2. Chris Guess has to be really pleased with the way that his team performed throughout this game.
And you see this could translate, coming into Southeast Polk. That's a tough game coming up here, and you got it. Right now they've done everything they could, and they've set themselves up. They set themselves up well.
Yeah, and I like the effort there, even toward the end by Hoover and Olivia Jones. Frustrated she couldn't get the steal or get the ball back for her team. That's the kind of energy and the hunger that you hope this team for Hoover has moving forward. But your final score, 5th-ranked Waukee. No problem with Hoover tonight. 101-28 was the final. We'll go ahead and step aside, give you the final statistics, and then turn the page over to the boys' game here momentarily, right here on CISN.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords. During the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges. And up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Boys basketball team's hitting the floor, but right now, at least as it stands, girls basketball game is a final. 101-28, fifth-ranked Waukee picks up the victory. They move to 15-2 on the season. Andrew Brown sitting alongside myself. I'm Emery Songer. We thank you for joining us. Andrew, the result not a surprise. It really was what can Waukee do to continue to try to tune themselves up for a big finish against a couple of top 6 teams, including number 1 Iowa City High at the end of the season. They have Southeast Polk also on the schedule, the last handful of regular season games before we get into postseason play later on in February. But everything that we saw tonight, they had everything working, not just the press, not just the defense, not just the active hands, but the shooting. And it wasn't just a couple of players, it was pretty much everybody.
And you saw a lot of different fronts by head coach Chris Guest and the Warriors. You saw them do press. You saw them lay off. You saw it try zone. You saw them go man-to-man. You saw them do a lot of things. And this was that type of game for them. Just see, okay, where they stand in areas that they may not have had the opportunity to try this with elsewhere. And, it is no surprise. For Hoover, it's just one of those games that you just got to learn from. But for Waukee, it is also one of those. Coach Guest is always about how do you learn from every game. And, right now he learned that if he didn't know before, he has a lot more on his roster that can play at a high level at the varsity level.
I mean, you really could go 10, 12 deep with players that could contribute in situations, whether you have injuries like Reitzman didn't even play tonight. Taryn Reitzman, there's excellent 5'11 junior, usually plays down low. This is a great opportunity to get her a little bit more rest, get her at 100% for the stretch run of the season. Looking at some stats, Chris Guest and his team, 25 points for Kate Dennebeer. All of those came at the mark of the first half, including a half-court buzzer beater to end the first half. She also had 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and by my count, 13 steals. So that's a big number. 18 points for Peyton Kelderman, 15 points each for Abigail Jones and Lindsay Kelderman. Plenty of threes between those two. 9 points for Megan Ernie, 7 points for Reagan Bartholomew, 6 for Bailey Kroll off the bench, 4 points for Cameron Weirs, and 2 points for Addison Steffi. On the other side for the Hoover Huskies, Frances Curtis Negussi and her team. 13 points for Olivia Jones. She also had 6 rebounds, an assist, and a steal. She was a nice bright spot and was trying hard, playing hard the entirety of the game. 7 points for Serenity Nelson, and then 2 each for Amaria Turner, Deja Bates, Cynthia Rennis, and Adriana Jarrett. But 35 turnovers. By my count, 27 of those were live ball steals. Again, those are not official numbers. Those are just how I'm trying to keep track during the game. It's tough to keep track. I might have missed some, but that's a large number, and in that press that we saw through the first half, Waukee is going to have the ability to do that. They have the second best defense in Class 5A, the 4th best offense, and both of those were on full display in this game.
And you know what? This is, by all accounts, as we mentioned, sort of like a tune-up game for Waukee. And they'll have a couple of those going forward here all the way up until their season finale. So that's going to be big. And, why not? If you're Coach Guest, try it out. Try these things out. See what new combinations may work. And, of course, we saw Reagan Bartholomew. We saw Jones get in the action of where they can find production, which is, now that we know, everywhere on the court. And that's pretty much with everyone on this team. So it's really good to see from this team moving forward. And, it only draws more excitement about what could happen once they face, their season finale and once they hit the postseason.
When you look at Waukee, next game, 6th-ranked Southeast Polk. Should be a fun one. I've seen both those teams in action. Southeast Polk is kind of a sneaky team. I don't think they get a lot of talk because of how good Johnston is and Dowling is and Waukee is, but that Southeast Polk team certainly could be heard from. I know Valley also has gotten a lot of publicity recently with the way that they can play defense. Southeast Polk is going to come in here, and they certainly have a shot to beat this Waukee team.
Well, and last year it was almost like the situation was flipped because Southeast Polk had the upper hand on Waukee a little bit last year, and Waukee kind of had to be that team to find a way and kind of sneak out a win. And so this year it's a little bit different, and so it's really interesting to see that dynamic change. And Waukee still has to be aware of that may happen. You're right, a sneaky team in Southeast Polk. Of course, Waukee.
I mean, I don't know how sneaky number 6 is, but they're as sneaky as number 6 can be.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, Waukee did beat them by double digits last time out. But having said that, again, that's more at the end of the game. You start piling on free throw numbers, so that can be deceiving. So, this will be a matchup to circle on the calendar for sure if it isn't already.
That is on Friday here in this gymnasium as the Rams come from Pleasant Hill and will take on this Waukee Warrior team for a doubleheader in CIML action. For Hoover, they're going to get back into CIML Metro play within their own division of the conference. They'll be taking on Des Moines North on Friday at their high school, at Hoover High School. And they play Ankeny and then Des Moines East to round out their schedule. And so just 3 regular season games left for Hoover. So we'll see how they're continuing to grow before regional play, but certainly there are some bright spots, but certainly a lot of room to grow as well for the Hoover Huskies. We're going to go ahead and step aside. When we come back, we will have a preview of Justin Oll's 5th-ranked Waukee Warriors as they look to continue to try to get back on the right track after a couple of losses. They're going to take on the 6-10 Hoover Huskies when we come back right here. Once again, your girls' final, 101 points for Waukee as they get the 101-28 victory over Hoover right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
Welcome back. We are live from Waukee High School. Emery Songer, Andrew Brown, the entire crew here at Central Iowa Sports Network. Bringing you the action, 5th-ranked Waukee, based on the Super 10 from the Des Moines Register. Matt Bain lining that up for us. Dustin Hull, 12-2, Waukee Warriors taking on the 6-10 Hoover Huskies. Des Moines Hoover, led by head coach Courtney Henderson. We'll get to their starting lineups when they announce them here in a couple of minutes. Just for reference sake here, Hoover comes in having lost 3 of the last 4 games, but continuing to try to, with very young team, a couple of good freshmen that we would expect to make some hay. Their 2 leading scorers, Chase Henderson and Elijah Voss. Between the 2 of them, they average about 26 points per game. And those 2, as mentioned, just freshmen. So certainly going to be a interesting scenario for Waukee. A couple of guys, yes, there's plenty of film on them, and they'll know that they're coming, but it's still going to be a challenge to slow both of those guys down. The problem for Hoover is they don't have a lot of other scoring outside of those 2 guys, averaging just 43 points per game on the season. When you look over at Waukee, they are ranked 5th rather, in the Des Moines Register Super 10. They have the 2nd best offense at 71 points per game. They only allow about 50 points per game already. If they can slow Hoover down even just a little bit, they want to get as many possessions as possible. But should be interesting to see how Justin Hull comes out and tries to attack this game against a Hoover team that, again, on paper you would think is a little bit overmatched, but you always have to play the games. That's why we're here, and that's what we're getting set to do as we move forward. Andrew Brown, any thoughts as we head into this particular game?
It'll be interesting to see kind of some of the newcomers some of the new faces we might see here for Waukee. Again, Kashawn Van Dis, he came in, obviously, for the injuries that have been happening here. It'll be interesting to see how he continues. I mean, this is his last year. He is a senior, and he has really been showcasing a lot. And, again, it'll be interesting to see the depth of Waukee. We haven't necessarily had a great chance at that in the last couple games, but it'll be nice to see him and see the depth come through.
Yeah. Wyatt Heston in street clothes for this game. But we'll go ahead and go on down to the starting lineups with our PA announcer.
Waukee High School has committed itself to maintain the highest level of sportsmanship possible at all athletic events. To achieve this goal, WHS is asking every Warrior fan to treat our visitors in the same manner we would like the Warriors to be treated when they are away from home. And secondly, for each of us to be courteous and considerate of our neighbors in the stands by what we do and say. Tonight's game officials, as assigned by the CIML, are Mr. Scott Cook, Mr. Kirk Renaud, and Mr. Joe Townsend. Let's meet the cheerleaders for both teams. First for Hoover, please welcome Leah Ruth, Keela Menard, Alyssa Hull, Ripley Miller, Julie Munoz, and Sheena Tram. And for Waukee, let's welcome Sophia Liston, Allie Philbin, Megan Pecci, Kayla O'Donnell, Shayna Hayes, and Paris Ziegler.
Lights up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight's starting lineups. For Hoover, please welcome number 2, Chase Henderson. And for your Waukee Warriors, a 6'5" senior, number 1, Tyshawn Van Dies. For Hoover, number 4, Elijah Voss. For your Warriors, 6'6" junior, number number 12, Tucker DeVries. For Hoover, number 10, Jaden Lopez. And for your Warriors, 6'7" junior, number 20, Peyton Sanford. For the Huskies, number 15, Chevelle Ruckty. And for your Warriors, a 6'2" freshman, number 21, Bryce Sanford. For the Huskies, number 21, Jonathan Beverly. And for your Waukee Warriors, 6'6" senior, number 33, Lincoln Swanson. The head coach of the Hoover Huskies is Courtney Henderson. The head coach of the Warriors, Justin O.
All right, starting lineups just real quick. If you didn't hear that, for Hoover, Chase Henderson, Elijah Voss, 2 freshmen, big-time freshman scorers they have in the backcourt. Jaden Lovelace, 6'2" junior. Chevelle Ruckty, a 6'5" sophomore. And Jonathan Beverly, a 6'2" sophomore. Very young squad they have trotting out there for Hoover, wearing the gold uniforms trimmed in green. They'll shoot at our right hoop here in the first half. Justin Hull, 12-2, going to Kaishan Van Dies, 6'5" senior, gets the start in place of Wyatt Heston, the 6'7" junior who's out today. The other guys who are going to start, Tucker DeVries, 6'6" junior, big-time scorer as well, 6'7" junior Peyton Sanford, 6'4" freshman Price Sanford, and then, of course, 6'6" senior Lincoln Swanson. Van Dies able to jump up and grab that tip off of the Swanson reach, and we are underway. Waukee wearing the white uniforms trimmed in purple, a little bit of gold in there as well. DeVries has really come on, one of the fastest rising prospects out of his class. He's going to catch and shoot right wing 3. This one missed, but look at Swanson underneath, gets the offensive board, pump fake, kick out. Price Sanford left wide open.
That was a great assist there. Way to find the open man, and that's what you got to do.
Little press action here from Hoover. Here's Chase Henderson into the front court, hands it off. He's going to get it back here and bring it back to the middle. Henderson is a freshman, 15 points per game so far. A lot of promise for him as well. A lot of good freshmen in this game. Price Sanford, that is, who just hit the 3 for Waukee, along with Henderson and Voss for Hoover. I see plenty of those 3 moving forward. As missed shot inside by Beverly, rebounded. Here's a 3 from Peyton Sanford. That's missed, and again, Lincoln Swanson on the offensive glass, but then a turnover. And it's grabbed by Henderson.
You know, this Hoover team is kind of like the girls. They're young. Their top 3 scorers are underclassmen. And so for Waukee, just make sure to pressure. Just keep pressuring, make sure they don't get into their rhythm and their game.
That's Voss. That's such a tough shot, but you can tell he's got a knack to score. He's 6 feet 5 inches, long, athletic. I mentioned that was Beverly on the miss. That was actually Ruckty who missed earlier, another sophomore. I mean, this Hoover team, 6-10 this season, as that one goes through the hands and is stolen away, again by Henderson. His little tough floater, a little strong. Voss skies over everybody and gets the rebound and then kicks it back out.
And that's what they're going to have to do, Hoover, tonight. You know, get those second chance opportunities, because Waukee, they can run up the scoreboard. Can you hang with them? And the best way to do that is to get second chance.
What an excellent job of dribbling by Chase Henderson, getting through with the behind-the-back dribble and lines up Voss for the 3. And Hoover a 5-3 lead early here, 2 minutes into the game. Sanford gets a Van Dies screen. Going to rotate it over to DeVries. DeVries working on Voss. His pass over to Price Sanford. Sanford, little spin move, working on Jaden Lovelace. Gets it over to Swanson. Can't finish, but he draws the foul on Ruckty. That'll be his first, team's first. And it'll be free throws for Swanson. Swanson's really impressed me. He doesn't get any of the headlines with guys like DeVries and the 2 Sanfords on his team. And Wyatt Heston really is the 4th option of this team when he's healthy and out there. But Swanson does the dirty work. He's the elbow grease guy. He shoots 75% from the floor. He's 60% from the line, makes the first here. And as we've seen already, a couple of offensive rebounds. He's not afraid to muck it around in the paint. kind of like one of those old school enforcers, like a Bill Lambier type. He's not going to try to play dirty or hurt anybody, but the idea is that he adds an element of toughness to this team as he misses the free throw, but Van Dis gets good rebound and holds on to possession for Waukee.
And we saw that with Swanson in the Valley game, and his importance there late in that game.
I mean, he was the only reason they were able to come back and force overtime.
Exactly, and that's exactly what they're going to want down the stretch here, too.
DeVries just really abusing Elijah Voss down on the post. Voss at 6'5", but DeVries stands 6'6", a little bit taller, a little bit longer, and he's got a little bit more weight behind him, and he's able to push the freshman all the way down into the paint and take that little short fadeaway. Van Dis comes up big with the block. DeVries clears the rebound, and he'll pull up from deep three.
There's just not a whole lot of spaces on the court where DeVries can't hit from. He's just that skilled and that good, and when you give him that type of room, he'll take it.
Timeout, Hoover. They want to talk it over. We'll take a timeout with them. 9-5, Waukee over Hoover early here on CISN.
The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
9-5, fifth-ranked Waukee with the early edge. 4:45 to go. Jacob Cohn, a 6'2 senior, comes in for Hoover out of the timeout. Waukee breaks out of their timeout huddle as well. Showing a little bit of three-quarter court pressure, which they have done all season long to a lot of success. I mean, this team 13th in defense, but a lot of that is possessions. They just like to play with a quick pace offensively as the trap, and they're going to get a charge on the drive on Beverly.
You got to be sound discipline in everything you do, especially if you're Hoover, because in the end, this is a well-coached Waukee team. Coach Old knows what he's doing, and he coaches this team well, and you got to be careful when you go in aggressively to this team.
Yeah, I like the fearless factor, but you got to get shots up if you're going to try to maintain. You want this game to stay as close as possible. Down low, Van Dis working on Beverly. Backs him in. Tough shot off the glass. Kaishan Van Dis, interesting story, has just scored before this game 15 points on the season. Not used a whole lot. He's usually maybe the ninth guy off the bench, but an opportunity to start here, try to keep the rotation off the bench. The same for Coach Ohl with some of those guys that we'll see, like Mason Myers and Joseph Lindholm coming off the bench for Waukee. And that's important. You want to try to keep those rotations as clean as possible, and you know you're going to expect Heston to come back here sooner rather than later.
And it'll be interesting because if you can show, if you're Van Dis, that you are capable of providing a lot of depth to this team, then heck, you could get a lot of opportunities going forward here, and it could be helpful for the Warriors.
A great job by Swanson keeping that play alive off the deep miss by Henderson. Pump fake. DeVries, Price Sanford, catch and shoot three, left corner. That's off the mark. Rebound loose and taken by Jacob Cohn. Henderson hustles into the front court. 11-5 Waukee to lead. Henderson, tough shot, and they're going to get him on a charge. That's a good job by Swanson and Price Sanford, both defensively. But you can just see the ability to finish by Chase Henderson, even though he committed the foul there. That is a tough shot with the left hand off the glass. That is a talented freshman.
But a lot of the times that's a lot of speed, and of course not a whole lot of time to stop it. And more times than not, you'll get the charge in that kind of scenario, and that's just something that freshman's going to learn over time.
That's still really impressive the way he was able to make that bucket, though, as DeVries hits the mid-ranger, which again, he's not exclusively a three-point guy. He has no problem rising up and taking those mid-range jump shots, and that's really what has made his value skyrocket. He can really score from anywhere on the floor comfortably. Here's Beverly. He'll go baseline. Way more under control this time, and he'll get the and one. Beverly is 6'2 sophomore. He averages about 6 points per game. We mentioned it's quite the drop-off between Henderson and Voss and everybody else scoring the ball, but he does have that kind of athleticism and the ability to score when he is left alone to drive, and he showed that right there, and he makes the free throw.
If you can get behind the defense like that, then it's just golden from there. And that's exactly what he did. And that's what Hoover really wants to try and get more of. And again, it goes along with the tempo.
Well, and he was way more under control that time. He wasn't flying in there, which got it to charge the first time. As Sanford inside rises over the top. Jaden Lovelace isn't going to be able to stop that. I mean, he's doing everything he can in there, but Lovelace listed at 6'2". He might be 6'2". And then you got Sanford, who is a legit 6'7". I mean, that's a tough matchup down low for Lovelace, no matter how you slice it.
And plus, you don't want to draw the foul too easily like that. That's what Sanford does really well, is draw you in for the foul. And a lot of teams have gotten burnt by him and DeVries this year.
Reach in. Van Dis is going to get called, trying to knock that ball away. Second team foul. Cone comes out. Right back in is Chevelle Ruchty. Van Dis will take a seat. Blake Pappenberg is in. Mason Myers also came in, replacing Swanson a couple of possessions ago. 2 minutes left first quarter. Waukee a 15-8 lead over Hoover. I do like a lot of these players that Hoover has. It's going to be interesting to see how they grow and continue to improve over the years as they continue to get their development underway. As a three that time by Henderson off the Voss pass miss. DeVries able to clear the rebound. Just the length and inside. Mason Myers able to get the finish. He's 6'4" coming off the bench as your sixth man. So it shows you there is a catalog of guys you can use on both ends of the floor, and you're going to have mismatches a lot of times if you're Waukee. Here's Voss trying to spin, up, under, tough shot, can't get it to go, and DeVries already his fourth rebound. Inside out dribble all the way down the floor. Tough shot with the left hand, can't get the roll. Try to get his own board, out of bounds, it'll stay down here.
Again, one of those mismatches, and that can work on the other side here too. Again, both DeVries and Sanford, both Sanford brothers, they have the height and they have the size.
I don't think there's a spot on the floor they don't have a height advantage right now.
Exactly.
Inbound pass, they're going to get a foul as Lovelace just trying to stay with Sanford. That is such a tough ask for Jaden Lovelace to have to try to guard this guy all over the floor.
And you may start to see more players kind of take his place and kind of sit in there, because obviously if you're Lovelace, you don't want to take on too many fouls too early.
That's his first, but, I mean, he's up against it. As you mentioned, Sanford does such a good job of drawing contact as he makes the first free throw. 85% at the line on the season is Peyton Sanford, averaging 20 points per game. He does a lot offensively that is tough to guard for a guy that can match up size-wise with him. But when you're 5'6" inches shorter than him, like Lovelace is, he's gonna get within 5 feet of the hoop every time, and he's gonna find a way to punish you. It's like whenever you think he might touch the ball, a second player really is gonna have to start going over there and try to double him.
And then you get that, and then you get in trouble there. Then you leave somebody open, and who do you leave open on this Waukee team?
They all can hit shots as miscommunication, but Voss is there to clean it up, get it to Henderson. Henderson picked up by a couple of different defenders. Inside, Ruchty. He's going to back in Pappenberg. Nice find. Beverly left all alone for three, but it's just off the mark. Lovelace tips it out of bounds. It'll go to Waukee. I like that possession for the most part for Hoover. Scrappy. It wasn't super clean, but they were looking for the open man. Ruchty was backing his man in, drew some attention, got an open look for Beverly, but Beverly just a 26% three-point shooter. Waukee is going to allow him to take those shots.
Exactly, all day. And if you're Hoover, maybe try and find a way to increase those opportunities. That's going to have to be the case, obviously.
And he's just going to have to make those shots, but that's the kind of chess game that you play. As Sanford hits a three.
And then there's that. Those hard, you can't really defend that too well, and that's oftentimes where teams get in trouble with the foul.
22-8, all of a sudden, 14-point edge for Waukee. Lovelace left by himself for three. That one just a little bit short. Pappenberg the rebound. Just 8 seconds left. Pappenberg gets it to Sanford. Sanford drives around Voss, gives it to Lindholm. Lindholm traveled. Been pretty clean. Neither side too many turnovers. I know there's been a few loose balls on the Hoover side, but they've been able to pick most of those up. With 4 seconds left, they certainly would like a bucket here.
Just to at least get some momentum back on their side.
At half court, Henderson just off the mark. Lovelace, a good rebound and finish, but it was just past the end of the quarter. So first quarter, Waukee, a 22-8 lead, looking strong so far, 7 each for Sanford and DeVries. We'll take a break, come back with the second quarter after this on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Here's to everyone who believes in competition and good sportsmanship, who knows it's not about the trophies or the medals, but rather the lessons learned. For those who understand, it's not whether you win or lose, just that you give your best. So go ahead, lace them up, take the field, have fun, and play. For the experience, for the memories, for the love of the game. Shields.
Hoover starts with the ball to start our second quarter. Waukee a 22-8 lead. Chase Henderson with it. Jaden Lovelace gets it. Lovelace looking, gets it to Elijah Voss. Voss with the left hand driving on Sanford. Kicks it back out. Henderson thought about the three. Also out there is Jonathan Beverly and Chevelle Ruckty for Hoover. The freshman Henderson on the left-hand drive and just a little too strong. And Kaishan Van Dis comes out of there with the rebound. He's back out there for Waukee to start the second. Volleyball line three on the way by Peyton Sanford. And, well,
there's no way to defend.
There's a way to defend it, but as soon as you come out on him, he's just going to drive right past you and go all the way to the rim.
Exactly. It's hard to really get, and sometimes you just have to let that shot happen and then just gather yourself on the other end.
Well, and then DeVries does the same thing. I mean, like those two are as impossible to stop offensively as any duo in the state of Iowa, and that's why this team has been so good all season long. Had that little mini losing streak to Valley, and this pass.
And Centennial as well, yeah.
Yeah, Centennial, for my money, might be the best team in the state right now in Class 4A. And again, loose ball for Hoover. They are able to pick it up and keep possession.
And that's the key. How long can you keep it in your possession and get those shots? That was a little contested there, but
yeah.
At least
I don't know if that's exactly what – I don't know if that's exactly the guy you want to shoot a contested three, but it was a clean look.
Yes.
Now, a clean look for other teams and a clean look for Waukee is different things. As Van Dis underneath. Voss, the freshman, trying to hang with DeVries, and he's going to get called for a little hip check foul.
And there you go, the versatility of DeVries again. He can go from the outside. He can make his way inside. He's one of the taller. He is one of the bigger guys on the floor. Ironically, oddly enough, for Waukee, but he's the most versatile.
Yeah, and Voss, that's a size matchup that's at least close. As here's Sanford to Sanford. Price nails the three. When DeVries has it and Voss is guarding him, the difference is DeVries a couple years older, and he's got a little bit more sturdy muscles to him, and he's able to kind of push him around a little bit and get down low where he wants to go. As Voss, you can see, good effort, gets his own rebound. One dribble, up, under, on DeVries. Again, can't finish. Again, tries to get the rebound. It's loose, and it stays down here. Elijah Voss showing me a lot right here.
That's really, tough determination will get you somewhere eventually. With that, it stays with Hoover, but, man, a little bit of a block there by DeVries, but you keep with it. And the more you find opportunities, the more chances you have to score. That's just how it goes, and that's what Hoover's going to have to do.
That inbound pass is wild and grabbed by Swanson. Sanford fouled and gets the finish. How about that? Lincoln Swanson does a great job of getting the steal and helping Sanford go all the way. And the foul is on Jaden Lovelace, just trying to get back into the play. I was just going to say Jeremiah Wilson checked in for Courtney Henderson and Hoover. And Van Dis just takes a seat for Waukee. And he's replaced by Mason Myers. Free throw is good for Sanford. 13 in the game for him. 5:40 to go. Waukee a 31-8 lead. Flexing their muscles here early with a 23-point advantage.
And for Hoover, what's worked best is if you can get that ball movement. Keep it, go on all sides of the floor. Find a way to get more people involved, because when it's just isolation, it hasn't worked out the best for them.
Here's a handoff. Beverly slices, dices, and finishes.
And there's exactly the point. The more ball movement you get, the more opportunities. And, again, against Waukee, you're not going to get a whole lot of those.
DeVries up under reverse lane with the left hand. Got a step on Wilson, was able to finish it off. 9 for DeVries.
That looked really easy for DeVries, but for a lot of people that may not have been that easy to get to that point.
And you talk about his size. I mean, it makes those kind of plays a little bit easier for him because of how big he is, but he still maintains that athleticism to know that's where he wants to go on the floor. As Henderson chucks up a 25-footer and buries it for his first points of the game.
You want to try and get back into this game, maybe that's what you're going to have to do, be more bold from the three-point line. That's certainly the guy you want to take that shot.
Sanford catch and shoot 3, nothing but net.
It's already by my count, the third three-point basket he's had so far in this quarter.
And for everywhere. I
mean,
he can be on the volleyball line as well.
Yeah, he can be playing a whole nother sport right now, and he'll still score.
Here's Henderson out at the logo, guarded by Price Sanford. Freshman on freshman here, 2 of the best freshmen in Central Iowa. Nice little pass. And Lovelace gets it to Wilson, who kicks it back out. Henderson, he likes to play this ISO ball. Volleyball line shot, this one too strong. And DeVries able to collect the board. Had it nearly knocked away. Beverly forces the jump ball, and it'll stay down here with Waukee. Well, what I like about Hoover, although they're struggling to score it now, you can see the natural offensive abilities of Henderson and Voss, and even Beverly right now as Pappenberg comes in, replacing Price Sanford. And when you're a young team that you're trying to grow, at least having identifiable go-to players, I mean, you're already ahead of the curve a little bit. That's what we're talking about with the girls. Can the Hoover girls start developing a player or two that they can rely on to get points? And the Hoover boys definitely have a couple right now in Voss and Henderson that they can rely on. And then Beverly also has shown some ability as well. Sanford finds Swanson underneath and the layup.
And with Hoover, you saw last year they met Waukee in the game to go to state, and they had a similar outcome there. They've obviously graduated those seniors now, but they had a similar setup here. And right now it's just kind of doing their best to retool, not rebuild.
Here is a little weave action. They are 6-10. Certainly a team in growth mode as Lovelace fires a 3 and knocks it down.
And like you said, there's a lot of glimpses of what this team is capable of, and it may just be that they're still growing, like you said, within the sport, trying to grow and find themselves out.
Lovelace right along par with Henderson and three-point shooting about 38%. So those two guys are the guys you want to be shooting those outside jumpers. Here's Myers all the way with the left hand, comes up short. Pappenberg all by himself on the second chance. So many people came over for Hoover to try to block the shot that the rebound was left wide open for Pappenberg to clean it up and put it in.
And despite how strong this Waukee team is from the perimeter, over half of their made shots have come in the paint.
40-16 after the miss from Lovelace. Step back 3 from DeVries. And again, I just don't know how you can, like that shot there. I mean, when they pull up from the volleyball line, that's one thing. When you're able to step back and generate some space from your defender naturally like that and then hit the 3, that is, I mean, that truly is impossible to stop as the teams exchange turnovers here.
And that's what you see guys at the collegiate level so good at, finding that separation. And when you have a good, smooth shot that you can hit from anywhere, a lot of things open up for you.
DeVries and Sanford will take a tandem seat. Price Sanford also out. Joseph Lindholm comes in, and Kaishan Van Dis also back into the game for Waukee for the last 2 minutes. Waukee a 43-16 lead. Hoover with it. Chase Henderson gets it to Elijah Voss. Voss trying to back down Lindholm. He's got a size advantage on Lindholm. Lindholm not allowing him to back him in, though. Here's Lovelace inside, a little bit short. And, again, you can see some talent there and the ability for the junior to get to the rim. Just his interior finishing is not up to par with his three-point shooting. He certainly is more of a shooter than a finisher at the rim.
It just seems like they're one step away, and it's good to see from a Hoover team like this that they're so close. It's just the finishing part. They've struggled to get to the part where they can finish, and now it's just a matter of making sure that consistently they find a way to finish.
Looks like they're going to get Lovelace on a kind of a touch foul there, and that is his third foul of the quarter.
And again, you want to be careful because you need Lovelace in there as much as you can to chip away anyway, do what you can to get back. But he is one of the undoubted questionable leaders of this team.
Voss will have a seat. He'll be replaced by Jacob Cohn. It's a 1-and-1 for Kaishan Van Dis. This season 5 for 8 from the free throw line. Makes the first.
And why free throws may not be as big in this game. We saw against Valley, especially with Swanson, we saw a number of times where this Waukee team can hit those and create a lot of havoc for a team towards the end of a game. And, something as simple as free throws goes so long in the grand scheme of things.
45-16, Waukee with the lead. Hoover with the ball with 1:10 to go here in the first half. Beverly, catch and shoot on the three outside. Lindholm, a good job coming down with the rebound on the miss in traffic.
Again, maybe not the guy you want taking it, but at least they're having some open looks.
Inside Swanson, doubled for a moment, now guarded by the bigger Wilson. Wilson trying to stay physical with him, but draws the foul.
Again, body positioning there too. Swanson, one of the better ones at that as well, finding a way to wiggle himself in there, find a way to grab the contact there, because you could tell he got stuck in that corner. He was trying to find a good look to the rim, and if you charge hard at a guy, if you're aggressive with it, you can often grab the foul and then obviously now head to the free throw line.
Free throw good from Swanson. He'll have one more. Voss back in. He'll replace Beverly. Again, you talk about seniors, only a couple on the roster. Jacob Cohn, the only one we've seen so far, is Swanson goes 2 for 2 at the line. By my count, I have him down for 7 points. In the front court is Henderson. 47-16 Waukee with the advantage. Here's Henderson. Kicks it out. Cohn. Extra pass to Voss. Good rotation from Swanson to the outside. But Voss goes all the way and lays it in. And again, showing his offensive ability. Still just a freshman, but at 6'5", certainly has the size, the length, and the dribbling, penetration ability, the shooting ability. He is going to be a problem, not just this year, but moving forward.
And when you see the success for Hoover, it's when a lot of off-the-ball movement is successful.
Look at Lindholm on the drive, little jab step fake. Looks like they're going to get Wilson on the second foul. And that'll send Lindholm to the free throw line. Lindholm this season has only scored 9 points, but he does get a lot of minutes. He really is kind of a defensive specialist, a guy that can give you a couple minutes here or there. But he's now 0 for 5 from the free throw line this season as that one halfway down and pops back out.
And he's also a guy that you can put in there if you get into foul trouble a little bit, but one of the great things about him is he doesn't tend to do that a whole lot. He is a steady guy, and Coach Hull knows that, and he can put him in that platoon type of Waukee can be a platoon team at times, and they have the depth to do it.
Missed them both, and coming out of there with it is Hoover. Voss with it. He's got it, working on Lindholm. Pulls up. Oh, that is such a tough shot, but he almost got it to go at the end of the half. Score at the end of the first half, though. Waukee doing their thing, leading 47-18. We'll take a break, come back with the halftime show, give you a little bit of halftime statistics, maybe even get a chance to talk with Chris Guest, the coach for the Waukee girls basketball team, after this, right here on the Central Iowa Sports Network.
Central Bank, proud to be a long-standing Iowa tradition. Founded in 1887 in Storm Lake, we've grown over the years from that one location to a bank serving Northwest and Central Iowa, employing more than 200 people in the region. Being here and being from here, it makes Central Bankers unique in the banking world. Decisions are made here. Investments of our time and resources are made here. For us, banking is still about people. Our reverence for community and hard work speaks to a proud Iowa heritage. Our passion for small business to bold new directions forward for our bank and the Iowans we serve. Thank you for your support of Central Bank. Let's keep it going. Let's plan together. Let's execute for Iowa's small business, agricultural, and individual banking customers. Central Bank is ready to make it happen. Member FDIC.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords during the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges and up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Moms typically get to make a majority of the healthcare decisions for their family. That can be a lot of pressure, but not for me, because I know the choice is ours. For medical tests like MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans, and of course mammograms, ask your doctor to refer you to Iowa Radiology. They work around our hectic schedules, they're the best at what they do, and they're so great with my family. They truly care, and it shows. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule an appointment. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
The Waukee Winter Guard doing a performance that they've been working on.
You know, their dance team has been pretty good too.
The dance team, I think they finished fourth at Nationals.
Yeah, fourth at Nationals
Crazy.
here just recently.
And this is a fairly new thing. I think over the last couple of years, this Waukee Winter Guard, obviously a very good band program here. This is kind of an appendage of that. And as you can see, 25 young ladies, part of this Waukee Winter Guard, who will do plenty of competitions, including going to the WGI International Regionals in Omaha. And a nice hand for the Waukee Winter Guard under the direction of several, including my wife.
There you go.
Had to get that shout out in there. Good job, Carrie, and the rest of the staff in the Waukee Winter Guard doing their performance here at halftime of the boys basketball game. 47-18 is the halftime score on the basketball floor for the boys. Fifth-ranked Waukee looking like the fifth-ranked team in the state. Peyton Sanford, 16 points. Tucker DeVries, 12 points. 7 for Lincoln Swanson. Keyshawn Van Dis with 4 points. Not a whole lot you complain about, I don't think, if you're Justin Ohl, especially knowing that Wyatt Heston, your fourth leading scorer on the team, and one of your primary defenders, is sitting this one out.
Exactly, and you've gotten really, this entire game has been very efficient for this team. I mean, 75% in the second quarter shooting. Yeah, I mean, you're going to take that all day. 61% in the first quarter, and that's just what, against a team like Hoover, we kind of expected to see that. But again, you're seeing both Sanford brothers, DeVries, just do things that you will not see too many times throughout the high school landscape, and it's one of those games that, hey, it's good to have those players.
Sure is. We're going to step aside, come back with more on the halftime show. 47-18 Waukee over Hoover right here on CISN.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. It's kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
Back here live, Waukee. Quick interview here with the activities director at Waukee High School, Jim Dewey. Sir, we can talk basketball real quick in a second, but we did see the Waukee Winter Guard out here, a newer program that continues to show great signs with a really great staff, also helped by my wife, which I also got to get that shout out, but also the dance team. Finishing, I believe, fourth. Megan Schaefer and her program.
Well, hey, you're paying attention.
Those RC things, man. It's not just about the athletics.
Yeah. Well, our Winter Guard, fairly new program, as you mentioned. We've been so good in our marching band, going to competitions, and our flag group is getting a lot of awards at those competitions. So within the last few years, we decided to start our winter guard program, and it's given those kids an opportunity to continue to compete after the competitive marching band season, and they have a competitive schedule this winter. They haven't started yet, but tonight was a little preview, got them in front of some people, and I think they did a good job. As far as the dance team goes, yeah, they did an outstanding job this year. It was our highest finish ever at nationals. We've done really well at the state level, and we've been national finalists, I think, for 11 straight years now, but had never cracked the top 5, and we were able to do that, placing 4th in the Palm Division. And I should say also our cheerleaders were at nationals this last weekend as well, and they actually were 3rd in the country. They were down in Dallas and had a great performance down there and ended up 3rd. So some things away from sports are having excellent success as well.
Yeah, and I mean that just perpetuates success within the community, especially with the high school split that's coming up. You want that depth. You want as many people out there. We saw 25 girls as part of the winter guard. We know the dance team obviously has a lot of depth to it as well. And I know last year they started a middle school guard during the winter as well, so that's going to get a bunch of exposure to some of these younger kids as they come through, not just on the sporting landscape because they're seeing all these Waukee programs be so successful on the field or on the court or in whatever they're doing, but also in kind of those more artsy programs as well. Quickly, let's talk about what basketball we see. Superintendent Des Moines Register has the boys ranked 5th right now after a couple of losses, but still 12-2 on the season. Girls ranked 5th by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. You got to feel good about where both these programs sit as we hit the final stretch of the regular season.
Yeah, I think so. Our girls are playing real well right now. They've really been able to step up their defensive pressure, and there's some opponents that don't handle that as well, and we've had a few here recently that didn't handle our pressure. We know that'll be different on Friday night against a very good Southeast Polk team, a rematch of a game that we played early in the year, and we're able to go into their place and win. So I know that Coach Daly and their girls will be ready to go on Friday night. That game, if Southeast Polk needs to win that game for a share of the conference title, so that gives a little extra meaning to it as well. And we're both kind of battling for positioning as the girls' union will get ready to set out their brackets here within the next couple of weeks. So it's a really big game. And then our boys, you mentioned we had 2 losses here within the last week or so, and I know that our kids didn't like that, and our coaches were not happy with some of the things we did, but we played 2 outstanding programs as well, so we don't want to take anything away from them. But I think they've played well tonight. I thought we played pretty well last night. We started to do a little more pressure, and I think that's helped, and playing a few more kids and maybe getting a little more quickness on the floor at certain times has helped us. Trying to go without one of our normal starters in Wyatt Heston, who's out with a little bit of a knee injury right now, not serious, but they're resting him a little bit right now. So we'll see. I know you got to get the game started here again, but thank you so much for being here. You're welcome here anytime.
Hey, yes, sir. I appreciate it. Well, thanks for coming by and saying, hey. That is Jim Dewey. He is the activities director here at the Waukee High School. And let's get Andrew Brown back in here as it's going to take us all the way up to the start of the second half. 47-18 is our score. Seamless transition there, Andrew.
Seamless. You do so great at that, Emery.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to take credit for something I had no responsibility in. Here we go. It is Hoover basketball just trying to get something going here out of the halftime break. Courtney Henderson and his team. We talked about a lot of young players. Nice up and under there shown by Chevelle Ruckdy, and that's his first bucket of the game. Here's a lob looking for Swanson, just a little bit too high, and Voss is going to be able to swing in and grab the steal. Here's Chase Henderson. Courtney Henderson, the head coach, that is his father. And a lot of basketball running through his blood as Voss too deep on the 3. DeVries collects the board, gets it over to Sanford.
And the transition game for Waukee has been one of their many strengths this year. They can just get on you so quickly, and before you realize it, they've already gotten a shot off, and some of those guys haven't even gotten back yet.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how good this team is in the half court, but also how dangerous they can be when they want to run in transition.
And at the beginning of the season, there was question marks about the loss in size from Dylan Jones, and you had Noah Hart, who was a big part of it last year, even though he got injured in his senior year. But they've seamlessly stepped up and seemingly are a little better than last year.
Van Dis, DeVries, Sanford, in and out. Look at Swanson, the rebound, and they're going to call a foul, I believe, on Ruckdy, who was trying to force a jump ball there.
And that may be his second foul of the game, but they add up. Again, Swanson, he's a physical guy. You know, he'll make you earn everything you get down there, and you'll have to fight your way for it.
6'2", freshman Emmanuel Nairel comes into the game for the first time. Yet another freshman getting some run. He'll replace Lovelace.
You can almost imagine that this Hoover team is going to be so much better here in the next years to come.
Down low, out of the foul, and that one was whistled on Beverly, and Beverly collects the rebound off the miss here. So they have 3 freshmen out there and 2 sophomores. That's the 5 that Hoover is running against this 5th-ranked Waukee squad. As Beverly mid-range jump shot knocks it down.
And now 2 for 3 to start the quarter. Why not continue that if you're Hoover? Try, and again, it's clean looks.
And it doesn't always have to be behind that 3-point arc. I know analytics kind of say that's the shot that you want to take behind the line, but sometimes it's better to make the shot than to take a shot too far away and miss it. Is this little tip pass from Sanford to Sanford, and here comes Peyton Sanford, just can't quite get the finish, and then he gets his own offensive rebound and his foul. But if you're Courtney Henderson and this Hoover team, freshman, sophomore, I don't know how much younger you can get at the varsity level here in the state of Iowa at Class 4A.
No, especially in 4A. It's such a rarity. You usually have a handful of seniors every year to help you out, or at least some juniors out there.
No. 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores are on the floor right now as Sanford makes the first. I have him down for 20, by the way.
And while it may be, again, you may be taking your lumps this year, this is a team that's so close on the cusp with Hoover. They're almost there, and we've seen them make plays here tonight. But Waukee's just seemingly making a whole lot more of those.
Well, that's what they've done all year. That's why they were ranked number 1 for a long time in the Super 10 by the Des Moines Register, as they're going to call Ruckty, I believe, for a moving screen. I believe that's 4 on Ruckty. Mason Myers comes in. He will replace Lincoln Swanson. 5:39 left, 30-point game. Waukee 52, Hoover 22.
Body position is always going to be important. It is always in every game, but with Hoover, if you're off just a bit, we've seen here the refs will they're not hesitating to call some of those, and they'll easily get you in trouble.
Van Dis over into the corner to Peyton Sanford. Sanford probes to the top, passes it over to DeVries, little pump fake, and Voss the reach. So there's 5 team fouls already in less than 3 minutes of the half on Hoover. So we're on our way to having some free throws the way that this is going, as Chevelle Ruckty forced to come out of the game, and it's Jacob Cohn who comes in for him. There's a 3 from DeVries. That's missed, but Van Dis, what an excellent effort play, fires it back in to save it. Here's Sanford. Left hand, yes.
Peyton Sanford.
Just keeping with it, looking at the floor. He could have taken a 3 early, but he kept. He tried for something indoors. So you want to try for an easier shot all the time, and that's what this Waukee squad does, even though they can pretty much hit anywhere.
Henderson with a nice athletic pass.
Foul number 10, Mason Myers.
Mason Myers going to call it for the hand check after the catch. Pappenberg in. Price Sanford will have a seat. At foul was the first on Myers, first on the team here in the second half. 32-point advantage. Inbound comes to Beverly underneath. Tough shot coming, but he eventually just passes it outside. A good move to Nairel, who gets it to Henderson. Henderson working on Pappenberg. He's got unlimited range too, not afraid to fire, but that one well short, and DeVries gets the rebound. Good defense by Pappenberg getting a hand up. Here's DeVries, behind the back dribble, little spin on Voss. Voss did a good job staying with him. Here's Sanford outside, hands it off. Van Dis over to DeVries. Again, trying to get rid of Voss, can't. Instead goes to Myers. Kick out, Sanford catch and shoot for 3.
3-point basket for Peyton Sanford.
And there's so many opportunities where either Sanford, DeVries could have just taken that step away jumper. And it again, they're finding open looks inside and making this Hoover team tire out.
And one thing they've done really well in this game is there's a steal by Myers. They've done really well in this game that sometimes you don't see is the ball is not sticking in any one place for Waukee, as DeVries lines up another Sanford 3. You can see why D1 schools are lining up to get DeVries and Sanford. It's Sanford's game this time around. I have him down for 29 points, as there's a nice finish by Henderson.
Again, in this third quarter, they're taking more shots from the perimeter, and we're seeing it, and it's just a lot of open looks.
Can't get this one to fall. Henderson collects the board. Look how fast he is with the basketball. Leaves it behind Voss, a wide open three. That one off the mark and grabbed by DeVries. 9 rebounds for him by my count, along with his 12 points and 4 assists. Nice little crossover on Voss. Tries to lose him and gets the lay-in. That time he did get to step on Voss. Voss has done a really good job on him for the most part when they've been matched up, but the last couple of times down, DeVries getting a step. First setting up as this ball loose. It's still live. Van Dis trying to save it, and then grabbed and saved by Sanford. He's going to catch. He's open. They had forgot about him in the corner, and he hits another three.
Another assist for DeVries, and man, this is turning out to be just like the girls' game. What can go right will go right.
Well, and he is on fire right now. 30-second timeout called by Waukee, 65-24. We'll leave it here. 2:47 left. Yeah, so I got him down for 32. Scoreboard has a 31. I'll have to do some checking on that, but regardless, he's having one heck of a night shooting the basketball, and DeVries did a good job on that particular play. And this is what I like about Kaishan Van Dis. In that situation, Hoover bungled the pass, and it was in the backcourt, and they just kind of stopped playing. But Van Dis and Sanford both sprinted after it to try to keep it alive down here because they wanted to keep playing in the transition. They could have had a chance to get an easy shot, and they ended up getting an easy one. It was just a little bit weirder than we thought. It was saved into the direction of half court where DeVries picked it up, and they forgot about Sanford in the corner, and he buried the corner three. Sanford and DeVries will have a seat. Price Sanford also on the bench along with Lincoln Swanson. The 4 regular starters have a seat, and then the 5th starter, Van Dis, also comes out. So Waukee going to the bench here. Ryan Coase into the game for the first time. Joseph Lindholm is back as Elijah Voss lines up a tray and knocks it down.
You know, Sanford has made it from pretty much all corners of the court here tonight and in this third quarter alone. And, you know, one thing I'm very interested now that we have pretty much an all-new lineup here for Waukee is can they keep it up? You know, and we've seen that from time to time, but can they keep up the continuation?
Connor Sudow, he makes his first bucket. And that was a good offensive rebound grabbed by Pappenberg.
And he's a guy to look out for, you know, coming in the next couple of years because he will be that Lincoln Swanson here in the next few years.
It was a good block on the defensive end as well by Voss, but the offensive rebound led to the second chance points. Here's a three lined up, Nariel, but before the shot they're going to call a foul on a charge by Beverly, and that's a tough call because he was just trying to get rid of the ball but made too much contact for the referee's liking, and it'll get the ball back to Waukee.
And, you know, credit to Pappenberg there. He saw that. He saw things getting just a little bit out of control there, you know, set himself. And, you know, sometimes it's not a whole lot, not very often that you get those opportunities where you can set yourself up and, you know, take the charge. But, you know, that was really well done by him. And, you know, I'm interested to see what Pappenberg can do, honestly, because he had flashes of Noah Hart in him. And I'm excited to see him in the next couple of years.
Myers with it, gets it over to Ryan Coase. Set out. Over to Lindholm. Lindholm stops, gets it to Myers. We do have the running clock in effect with the 40-point advantage. Here's Myers, a nice cut. Good pass by Sudow. And Myers has 4 points. 69-27. Probably see Waukee. I mean, they list like 20, 25 guys on their active roster, even though you can only really dress 15 of them. So we're going to see, I would imagine, the rest of those guys on the bench eventually get themselves into this game with Waukee running away from Hoover here.
Yeah, and you see a lot of them standing up right now as well. And, you know, why not give the chance to these guys?
Henderson on the drive. He'll draw the foul on Coase, and he'll go to the free throw line. Henderson trying to continue to create. 78% free throw shooter is Chase Henderson.
Chase Henderson at the line for Hoover with 2 shots.
And for the most part, he has created shots here tonight, whether they've gone in, whether he's connected. That's been a whole different thing. It's kind of gone with him. As he's gone, so has the team.
Well, he is going to be the catalyst moving forward for the success, but they also have good supplemental pieces that are young and should be back. The only senior we've seen is Jacob Cohn, and he's the 6th man off the bench. Is 2 for 2 at the line for Henderson. As Waukee will bring it up, probably the last possession of this quarter. But you have that, and then you got, you know, Nyrell, another freshman. You have the sophomores like Ruckty, Jonathan Beverly, another junior in Jeremiah Wilson, and Jaden Lovelace. I mean, those guys are all coming back. So this is a team that is going to continue to develop moving forward. Is Sut out underneath, fouled by Wilson with 4 seconds left.
A nice dart in there, nice pass. And again, that shows that what good passing can do. It's kind of an underrated skill, but Waukee, from the starters down to the bench players and everybody who comes in, they know how to pass the ball well.
First free throw made from Sut out. One more for Sut out on the season. 3 for 7 at the line, and he makes them both here. It's always nice to get an extended run for some of these guys that are deeper on the bench. As Henderson at the horn. What a finish, coast to coast. Talk about the speed that he has going end to end. In 4.5 seconds, went literally end to end, and a nice floating finish. You can see the promise that this young man has. At the end of 3, though, it's all Waukee. 5th-ranked Warriors, 71. Hoover, 31 on Central Iowa Sports Network.
We might not always know what the day will bring, but some things are certain. The sun will rise, and your lights will go on. That's because at MidAmerican Energy, we're obsessively, relentlessly committed to providing you energy when and where you need it, to connecting with you and keeping our communities safe and strong. Because the most important thing we put our energy into is you. We're obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Every month or so, there's another story in the media about when and how often we need to get our mammograms. Kind of confusing. When this happens, I like to consult with experts. So I called Iowa Radiology. They recommend women get an annual mammogram starting at age 40. They know that it's the best way to detect cancers early and save lives. And that's good enough for me. Visit iowaradiology.com or call to schedule your mammogram. Iowa Radiology, our focus is your good health.
71-31, Waukee with the lead, and they have the ball. Joseph Lindholm, Ryan Kos out there with Connor Sutout. Blake Pappenberg and Luke Jacoby, a senior, has come into the game. Up to the top, Waukee with that 40-point advantage. We have the running clock, except for free throws, timeouts. Lindholm catch and shoot 3 from the corner. Can't get this one to fall. Henderson gets the tap from Jacob Cohn. It is Cohn on the left wing, dribbles, gets it to Elijah Voss. Voss is bumped by Lindholm. That's just the 3rd team foul, though, on Waukee.
One thing I like about Voss and many of the Hoover players is the way that they can control the ball in traffic like that. And that's one of the big things that will help them move forward here.
Chase Henderson with it. He is certainly showing a lot of promise. Also out there is Jaden Lovelace, the junior, and Jonathan Beverly, a sophomore. Cohn knocks down a 3. It's his first points of the game. It is Kos into the front court, stood out. Lindholm hands it off to Jacoby. Gets it to Kos again. Waukee just going to run some offense here as they get deeper on their bench. On the right side, here's Lindholm, picked up by Voss. Hand off to Sutout. Sutout working on the smaller Beverly, but Beverly does a good job of hanging in there. And they're going to quick timeout as Lindholm looks like he got like a knee-to-knee or maybe a Charlie horse, and he'll come out of the game. He'll be replaced by Nathan Holstrom, a 6'2 junior. Last thing you want is somebody to get dinged up in a game like this. So
yeah,
smart idea not trying to leave him out there. Here's Pappenberg, loses the handle, and Voss gets the steal. Lovelace in the right corner, fires the 3, that's in and out. And Ryan Kos comes down with the cleanup of the glass.
Another great job by Henderson creating opportunities. He's just as good of a creator of opportunities as he is a scorer. And so it's really fun to see him. Man, I can't wait to see him in the next couple of years to come.
I mean, this team is going to, I think, just generally, if they continue to develop and work in the offseason, they got some basketball players here for Hoover. And stood out working on Beverly. Beverly does another great job of just not letting him bully him into position. And Voss cleans up the glass. Cross court, into the corner. Pump fake here for Cohn. Cohn, the drive, kick out to Lovelace. He'll step inside the arc. Tufts. And they're going to call a block underneath. That'll be stood out on the foul, and Lovelace missed a couple of threes. Talk about it, he's a pretty solid three-point shooter, almost 40%, but he missed a couple, so you saw him get the up fake, got a little bit of a lane, and drove in and was able to draw the foul.
I like to see him aggressive like that because too late in games you see some of these big-time characters like Lovelace get a little too timid inside the paint.
Or they just, fire up.
Oh, yeah,
the
or
three,
they get just trigger happy.
Yeah, I mean, trying to do something else to see if it works. I like that. As the rebound from Holstrom, first one was good, second one missed by Lovelace. Also into the game for Waukee for the first time is Braden Menz, a 6-foot junior. Lovelace strips the ball away on the drive. Henderson, a little spin move, fires it to Beverly. Beverly goes baseline. Looked like he had a shot, but he finds an open Lovelace. He just can't make the three. And good ball movement for the most part there.
I would have loved to have seen him take that shot right near the basket there. But, again, he's stistill opening, creating space.
That's and it wasn't a bad shot on the outside. Jacoby fires the three, and he'll hit. Holstrom gets the assist. So Jacoby into the scoring column. 74-35. Just under 5 minutes to play. Henderson loses everybody, goes in. Good effort by Sootout to challenge the shot. Lovelace able to keep possession down here with the offensive rebound, and the ball tipped out of bounds. It'll stay with Hoover.
We've seen it rare throughout this game. We've seen it a couple times with flashes. Hoover getting second chance opportunities. That's what they did here. And for the most part, they've connected on those. It's just they've come so few and far between that they just haven't been as effective.
Voss backs his way in. Little one-footed fader. Miss, but good follow by Lovelace. I believe the last Waukee substitute that is dressed that we haven't seen so far, and Keenan Peters is at the scorer's table. He'll check in next dead ball. For now, though, it is Holstrom. Gets it to Jacoby. Handoff, Ryan Coase. Coase to Sootout. Sootout, back to Coase. Now into the corner. Holstrom lobs it in. Jacoby he wants to back his man in. Cone will get called for a foul, and that will be free throws.
And if I'm Voss there, maybe help out a little bit more there on defensively. But, man, there's ultimately you can't ask for a whole lot more out of these young guys, these freshmen, these sophomores from Hoover. I mean, this is ultimately, even as you get into the bench here for Waukee, it's an experienced team.
Sootout comes out after some good minutes as Jacoby makes the first. Jacoby's listed 6'6", and the man trying to guard him, Jacob Cone, listed generously at 6'2". So you can see that's the matchup that Waukee wants to exploit, and you're definitely going to need to send a second body there if you're going to try to prevent a foul or a bucket. It's 2 for 2 for Jacoby at the line. He's got 5, under 4 to play. Substitute in the game is Emmanuel Nairel for Courtney Henderson and Hoover. Here's Voss on the right wing. Gives it Nairel over to Lovelace. Lovelace picked up the dribble and gives it to Henderson out at the Waukee logo. Thought about stepping into the really long three. Instead, he'll start the dribble. Step back, lost his man for a second, and buries the jumper. There's the kind of raw ability we've talked about, though. If he continues to progress on what we've seen so far tonight, this guy is going to be an all-state caliber player sooner rather than later. There's a three from Holstrom.
And that's the way to answer. I mean, you get a great basket out there by Henderson. How do you do it? You got to answer for three yourselves. And this has turned out to be a very big, very good depth team for Waukee.
Keenan Peters picked up the assist as Henderson gets the offensive board. Voss catch and shoot outside the top of the arc. He buries it. And he also has great shooting ability as well. He's 33% from three this season, but certainly shows the ability to shoot it. He may not have the unlimited range that a guy like Henderson likes to have, but he certainly can shoot it from inside as well, as that three by Jacoby is missed. Lovelace with the board. 2:40 left in regulation, 79-43. Waukee the lead. Henderson fires up the shot. That one missed everything, and the pickup on the rebound to Peters.
Basically hit the back of Jacoby there.
He's trying to find position.
Exactly.
As Coase goes in, can't get the finish, but look at Jacoby cleaning up the glass. I mean, he's the biggest guy on the floor, and he's playing like it down low.
You use that size, use it to your advantage, and Jacoby's done that ever since he stepped on the floor here tonight.
Here's Voss over to Henderson on the left wing. Over to the right, and back to the left, gets it to Nairel. Nairel traveled. It's a good job by Peters staying in front of him.
got a little tripped up there by himself, it seemed like, and just kind of one of those awkward instances where you kind of get caught in the middle of a dribble.
Waukee walks it into the front court. Holstrom. 100 seconds left in the ballgame. Peters catch and shoot three. Almost banked it in, and Cone collects another rebound. Henderson dribbles it up on Coase. Hands it off. Voss working on Holstrom. Holstrom doing a good job defensively. Voss kicks it out. Cone thought about the right wing three. Instead, he'll work on Jacoby. Does not have the size advantage. We'll kick it out instead to Beverly. He slashes in. Gets it to Lovelace. Short corner. And can't get the finish. Peters, another board. Peters is going to go baseline and stepped on the end line. It'll go over to... I mean, both teams for the most part, I have not gotten a lot of turnovers on my list. I only have 6 for Waukee and 9 for Hoover. Again, that's an unofficial number, but Hoover has done a good job of at least getting shots up. And it's just the only problem is not a lot of them have gone down as Henderson fires another triple. And that's going to be a foul on Lovelace on the rebound as position was had by Braden Mins, and he'll have free throws on the other end.
One thing that could really help them is consistency here. In the third quarter, they're doing very well inside the paint. The fourth quarter here, they've had 1 bucket in the paint the entire quarter, and it's just again, it's a younger team trying to find kind of their rhythm. But eventually, this team will get there. But that's kind of been their biggest downfall tonight is just where they can consistently find the points.
Braden Mins misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Rebound to Lovelace. 38 seconds to go. Voss backs in Holstrom. Mid-ranger missed. Rebound bounces out. Ryan Coase able to grab it for Waukee. Here comes Peters, and that's stripped off of his leg, and it will go back to the Huskies with 20 seconds remaining. Dribbling in is Henderson. He'll slide in. Left-hand scoop shot good. He's got 14. And Waukee will dribble it out. And that'll be a final. 81-45 is the final score as 5th-ranked Waukee takes care of their home floor against Hoover tonight and improves to 13-2 on the season. Courtney Henderson's Hoover Huskies drop to 6-11. We'll take one break, come back, and wrap things up live from Waukee High School after this on Central Iowa Sports Network.
Why do I look for the seal? It's about trust. Whether I'm buying a car, hiring a contractor, finding a tax preparer, or an honest mechanic, the Better Business Bureau seal means this business meets high standards. When I see the seal, I know I'll get what I pay for. No more taking chances and no more worries. And I feel good about supporting local businesses. My life is so much easier knowing I can always trust BBB accredited businesses. It pays to look for the seal. See for yourself at bbb.org/Iowa.
Hi, this is Chris from Fireplace Superstore. It's cold outside, and that means it's fireplace season. And you need one of the brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. They're the perfect retrofit for that old wood-burning fireplace that you're not using. You get beautiful flames, you get heat, you get easy operation, and they're all brand new Heat and Glow gas fireplace inserts. Please come see us, Fireplace Superstore, 109th and Douglas in Urbandale.
People drive to Indianola to buy new Fords. During the final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $14,000 off MSRP. New Ford F-150 Crew Cab XLTs. Up to $14,500 off MSRP. New Expeditions. Final 19 model year closeout at Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. Up to $9,000 off new Edges. And up to $7,000 off new Escapes. $14,000 off new F-150s. Don't miss it. Schottenkirk Ford, Indianola. SchottenkirkFord.com. The Chevy Sell-Down event is going on now at Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. New 2020 Silverado Crew Trail Boss, $279 per month. New 2020 Crew RST, $11,000 off or $4,000 off plus 0% for 72 months. Eligible GM card members get an additional $1,000 off select models. Up to $6,000 off or $2,000 off plus 0% for 72 on new 2020 Equinox LTs. New Silverado LT Double Cab, $219 per month. The Chevy Sell-Down. Schottenkirk Chevy Waukee. WaukeeChevy.com.
Back here one final time, Waukee picks up a win, 81-45. The Warriors and Justin Ohl 13-2 on the year. And Courtney Henderson and the Hoover Huskies now 6-11. Final statistics, Peyton Sanford 32 points. Excellent game from him. He also had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Tucker DeVries 14 points. 9 rebounds and 5 assists. Those guys are the only 2 guys in double figures by my count for Waukee. Everything else was spread out nicely amongst everybody else. 7 points each for Luke Jacoby, Lincoln Swanson, and 4 points for Kaishan Van Dis, who got the spot start tonight. Also 4 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, and a block for him. Mason Myers also had 4. 5 points for Price Sanford, 4 points for Connor Sutout, and 3 points for Nathan Holstrom, and 2 points for Blake Pappenberg. On the other side, for the Huskies, 13 points for Elijah Voss, 14 for Chase Henderson. Those 2 guys continue to show that they're going to be a backcourt to be reckoned with moving into the future here in Central Iowa. 7 points for Jonathan Beverly, also a player has a lot of good skills that will be utilized by this team. 5 points for Jaden Lovelace, 3 points for Jacob Cohn off the bench, and Chevelle Ruckdy had 2 points. Final thoughts on this one, Andrew?
You know, this was a game that Waukee kind of knew coming in. They had the advantage. But one thing I love about Waukee is they don't take it for granted, and certainly they tried a lot of different things. And you've seen, like you've seen in a couple games, you saw DeVries pretty much everywhere on the court. You saw Sanford pretty much everywhere on the court, and you saw a number of different guys find success in a multitude of different places on the court. And then, like in the girls' game, you saw a lot of people get involved. And that's what you want to see out of these type of games is how many people can you get involved, because there's going to be tougher games coming down the stretch, and coming up Friday, that's going to be one of those games. So you got to find a way to keep games like these going as strong as you can. You got to try and find the competitive edge somewhere, and that's what Waukee continues to do, and that's why they're at the top of the rankings or close to week in and week out.
Yeah, the Southeast Polk Rams are going to be coming to town Friday. It's a doubleheader you're going to be able to see on Central Iowa Sports Network. The Southeast Polk girls ranked 6th. The Waukee girls ranked 5th. But new rankings will be out coming up by Thursday. So when that Friday game happens, the rankings could be a little bit of adjusted. We'll have to see what the results are tonight before that happens. The Waukee girls beat Hoover tonight, 101-28. Excellent game all around for head coach Chris Guess and his 15-2 Waukee Warriors. The Hoover Huskies now 3-15 on the season. They will be back in action against Des Moines North as they get back into CIML Metro play. On the boys' side, it was a 81-45 finish, 5th-ranked Waukee. They'll be a favorite here against a Southeast Polk team, but that is a pesky Southeast Polk team. Do not count them out from potentially pulling off a surprise or two as the season wears on. They have a lot of good athletes, but Waukee certainly likes to think on the boys' side they would like to have that win for sure. Waukee boys 13-2 this season now, and the Huskies now 6-11. Andrew Brown, thanks so much for being here and joining me in. It's been a fun time.
Always a pleasure. Always happy to catch some baseball or basketball anyway on a Tuesday.
Baseball
sure.
too.
Yeah, baseball too. There you go.
All right, that is Andrew Brown for our entire crew here. Devin Taylor running the board, Randy Nielsen on the cameras. My name's Emery Songer. For my partner Andrew Brown, we thank you for joining us. This has been Waukee hosting Des Moines Hoover on Central Iowa Sports Network.